Woke up and daddy was home. I started hustling, they couldn't tell me nothing. Running in the hood, trying to be somebody. My soul's so empty. I was searching for something. Tried to be good, tried to keep from trouble. Living too fast, trying to make good for the hustle. Sometimes you get along. Sometimes it got hard. Sometimes you gotta walk to work, yeah. Sometimes you gotta do a little hey. Wasn't really looking, yes I found it. 5'3" like brown skin. Coming from the university. Not style looking kind of lovely. Didn't know she had much game. Down the ride out, we didn't take the train. Even turned her to a poker game. Top notch for 5 chicken and sushi. Tried to be good. Try to treat you like a lady. Try to be a friend. Turns out that you was your day. Sometimes you get lonely. Some things are what you seem to be. Sometimes you get all angry. Oh, sometimes you forget to me. Well, try to be good. Oh, there's nothing but your love somebody. Didn't want to die young. Said he has to try to feed my family. Scared to have a kid and do like that again. Cause I'm so scared of feelings. Sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes you gotta move. Sometimes you gotta cry a little bit louder. Oh, sometimes you gotta fight the pain. Sometimes you gotta walk alone. Sometimes you gotta worry.
Let's get a shout out for Trez. This is Trez singing Coming From Where I'm Coming From by Anthony Hamilton, up and coming artist.
Sitting here, guess I didn't make them. Got time story to tell. Started when I was 9 years old. Woke up and daddy was home. I started hustling, they couldn't tell me nothing. Running in the hood, trying to be somebody. My soul's so empty. I was searching for something. Tried to be good. Tried to keep from trouble. Living too fast. Trying to make good for the hustle. Sometimes you get along. Sometimes it got hard. Sometimes you gotta walk to work, yeah. Sometimes you gotta do a little hey. Wasn't really looking, yes I found it. 5'3" like brown skin. Coming from the university. Not style looking kind of lovely. Didn't know she had much game. Down the ride out, we didn't take the train. Even turned her to a poker game. Top notch for 5 chicken and sushi. Tried to be good. Try to treat you like a lady. Try to be a friend. Turns out that you was your day. Sometimes you get lonely. Some things are what you seem to be. Sometimes you get all angry. Oh, sometimes you forget me. Well, try to be good. Oh, they talk about your love something. Didn't want to die young. Said he has to try to feed my family. Scared to have kids and do like that again. Cause I'm so scared of feelings. Sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes you gotta move. Sometimes you gotta cry a little bit louder. Oh, sometimes you gotta fight the pain. Sometimes you gotta walk from me. And they try to buy your pretty heart, but price too high. Baby, you got me like your love will not fall apart. So you can put me again and throw me against that wall. Baby, you got me like won't you stop love on me? Don't quit love on me. Just stop love on me, yeah. And then just to get close to you. And I'll run for miles just to get a taste. Must be love on from thinking, but look what's going on. We're going to have membership only. And in this membership only, we're going to have a book club. Yes, a fabulous book club. It's going to be reading in the chapters of Black Titanic. You're going to read about your ancestors. You're going to learn a lot about history that you don't get in the book. But anyway, you guys, sign up now. If you want your book, you want to be part of the book club, you got to sign up now. You got to start purchasing your book. It's $15, you guys. That covered. It's $10 for the book, $5 for shipping right? So get your orders in so we can start. We want to start by September. So the whole month of August, you'll be getting your book and you're started. Don't worry now. We're gonna use one chapter at a time. Everybody gonna read one chapter at a time, and then we will discuss it. Thanks. So this is how you do. Black Titanic 65 at yahoo.com. Black Titanic 65 at yahoo.com is going to be my email address. So, you guys will be able to remember that, right? Black Titanic 65 at yahoo.com. So let me zoom on this. Black Titanic, African Aurora, right? Read about this wonderful woman, Aunt Mary. She's everybody's auntie. Aunt Melinda, Aunt Melinda. We will be sharing Aunt Melinda's stories. We're going to have a great time, you guys. Anyway, I want the whole world to know about my auntie who died on the Titanic. Thank you. Don't forget. Get those orders in so we can get started on the book clubs. Members only. We got to start a members only. Now it's going to only be $2.99. Quit hiding in the bushes now. Come on now. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe now. I know you peeping.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I've been about, oh, wow. Thank you guys for being here. Grand Rising, you guys. I had so I had so many different times. I had scheduled at 10, but it was saying 2 o'clock on the YouTube streets, and then I forgot we're having a ceremony. My daughter having her ceremony, y'all. She's having a baby, and this ceremony that she's doing is she's gonna have a water birth. So I got to participate in the water birth. So I have to go practice. But it's all about the mother today, y'all. We'll have foot washing, just anything related to the mother today. That's what the ceremony is about. And then we're going to have about a week later, we having the baby shower. So mom get pampered today. And mom get gifts. I like that's a smart one because we used to get a baby gifts. And so mom get gifts today. And anyway, Grand Rising. Hey, Patricia Ellis Robbins. Hello. Carrie Ross, Grand Rising. Queen Jaja. Trending at some point. Lodell Bassett. Thank you guys for being here this morning. Miss Pinky probably still in the bed. She probably expected me at 10 this morning. Yeah, well, I'm at home in Atlanta. It feels so good to be back home. You guys, y'all know I've been gone almost a year. I thought I was gonna be down back in Huntsville for about a week or two, but y'all know how that is, bruh. He need me, so I'm about ready to come back to Atlanta. I feel like Melody. I just don't really like Huntsville like I used to. I moved from the big cities down to Huntsville about 50 years ago. Yeah. I stayed in Huntsville like about 30 years, y'all. So, but I got a lot of family still there. Y'all know Huntsville only 3.5 drive from Atlanta, so it ain't nothing. Just jump in the car. You can use 3 hours up just in the city, going out taking care of your bills, and so it's not really far. Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising. This morning, you guys, we're gonna be talking about Sarah Bartman. I don't know if you guys knew about the story of Sarah Bartman. But she was she was from South Africa. Yeah. And Esau tricked her. Said he had a nice job for her in Europe, right? Gets over there. She was just like she was in a zoo. Yeah, they treated her really bad. Now y'all know we've always been the black women have always have hips and butt. And because of the way she was shaped like that, they put her on display and made fun of her because she had looked just like any other black woman to me with the big old butts. But it's just amazing to see these days they paying to get butts like that. And that woman was made a spectacular, yeah, like she was in a zoo or something. But they ended up cut off her labia in her womb. So today we're going to be talking about how black women was treated, how they always have used us as an experiment. Hey, Justin Battles is a new member. Yes, how they always have treated us as experiment, right? And then we're going to talk about the gynecologist. They call him Mr. Sim. That man wasn't no gynecologist than I was. Well, he will operate on black women, take their wombs out, specialize in their vagina. I believe he was just a freak. And didn't give them no kind of anesthesia because he put the notion out that black women didn't feel pain. And I noticed that today too, y'all. Which is kind of good for us in a way because they don't like to give us pain medicine. They tell us go home and take a BC or something, But we can have big time surgery. because they still feel like we feel less pain, y'all, for some reason. Anyway, well, yeah, he will operate. And then we're going to be talking about Mama B in the book, Mama B. That was an incident with Mama B too, when they cut her tongue out and put it in a jar. But y'all know they put that woman Sarah Bartman vagina in a jar and her breasts in the jars. I don't know why. We're talking about how people turn up with their organs missing these days, but they have always been fascinated with our organs. Organs harvesting have always been. Y'all know when they sit up there and you find your loved one hung on the tree, you might find a hand missing, a tongue missing, an ear missing, and they put them in a jar. But Sarah Bartman, this was like in the 1800s. No. Might have been, early 1800 when they did that to Sarah Bartman. But in 2002, they just got her remains. They got her womb out of the museum. Had this woman labia in the museum. Now, how you, look, y'all, how could you call us uncivilized? Would a civilized person do that? Cut off your body parts and put it in a jar, keep it around their head. And I told y'all they did that to Nat Turner. They just returned Nat Turner head to his family. Just somebody had cut the head off and just kept his head. They turned it to his family when that movie came out a few years ago. So that's what we're talking about. And of course, Martel hoax. That cowgirl. Looking for a cowgirl. Hey, I didn't put that up there, y'all, but somebody made a meme out of that. Somebody made I don't know, it ain't no meme, but what you call a little shorts out of me. Well, I'm singing that song, making about the cowgirl with Martel. But anyway, I don't know whether she was shade Aryan or not, but I think she was, because she said she made a statement saying that, she make her own money. She don't have to be nice to a man just to eat. So I'm like, I wonder if she talking about Aaron, because that's what Aaron depended on Martel just to eat for every little thing. But anyway, Queen Jaja. Hey, Linda Gamma, the hardest working woman on YouTube streets. Phyllis Crawford. Hey, Brent Brellan, how you doing over there? Welcome all the content creators. Welcome everybody. Thank you guys for the cash app. While I'm thinking about it, I think your last name was, some of y'all already told me y'all got y'all books, but Melinda Robinson, I believe your last name was Robinson. I don't have my notebook with me. You sent me money for the book, but you didn't give me an address. I got to have an address. And you didn't give me your email. You just sent it to the Cash App. And when you push on your Cash App, you can't reply back to the Cash App. It'll go, So I think your name is Melinda Robinson. That's the same. That's my Aunt Linda name. I call her Aunt Linda, but her name is Melinda, the one on the Titanic. Yeah, I think your last name. Well, anyway, I remember your first name was Melinda. But please send me your email and your shipping address so you can get your book. Yeah, Melinda Robinson. That's it. Oh, I got it. August the 1st is when you sent me that. So if you look at Melinda Robinson, I need your address and I need your email. So I got your money, or else I have to return the money back if I don't hear from you within 7 to 10 days. Seceding. Hi, Seceding. Seceding too. Hi. So y'all, let me go on and get a little bit of the book out the way. I just want to do this so finish the book. We were talking about, in this book, I'm going to read to y'all about Mama B. I told y'all that Mama B was a 91-year-old lady where the mob went in there and dashed flowers all over her face and cut her tongue out. Meanwhile, Melinda was on her way. Now, in this book, y'all get to knowing Sarah. Sarah is the horse. Sarah is also my grandma. Now Sarah, I named her Sarah, but Melinda always had a rode a horse, but I named the horse Sarah in my book because that was Melinda's mother's name, my grandmother's name. Great grandmama name was Sarah. But anyway, I'm gonna start right here. Now, the mom, Melinda's on her way to deliver her clothes, right? She does not know that this mob is the went in that store, trashed the store, killed and terminated. Mama B was 91 years old, y'all. This is a true story now. So what they were doing, they were mad. The mob, I call them terriers, y'all. You know, they don't call, Esau don't call themselves terriers. They call everybody else terriers, but they don't call themselves, they'll call themselves a mob. So anyway, the mob just went around all over because they were mad at Luther because Luther would not give them their land, his land, right? This day they were just tired of Luther. They just gonna go get rid of Luther and take his land. So they were going through the villages, just hanging a lot of our ancestors. So while Melinda riding down the road on her way to AB's store, right? That's what she's seeing along the way, just like fruits hanging from the tree. Just a lot of our ancestors, and she knew the mob had did it, and she also knew that her brother was looking for her brother's Uncle Jeff, and Grandpa was looking for Luther before the mob found them, right? Anyway, the mob made up an excuse to do something to Luther because Billy, is to keep pointing here, Billy had terminated his buddy. He put it off on Luther, the black man Luther, because he wanted his land. So that's who he put it off. So y'all know throughout history, even a black man that violated a white woman or a black man that killed one of them, and the whole mob gonna go after them. So this is what's going on with them, right? So they're in the store. I'm gonna start with where they're in the store. Start with where they like at home. Right? Word travels that a white man was beat to death by a black man, which was Luther. Soon the mob number escalated. It was men's, women's, and children. They traveled by horse. They traveled by cars. They're terrorizing all the blacks in the city. The first place they stopped was at Aunt B grocery store and clothing store, y'all. She was 91-year-old Renetta. She was a 91-year-old black woman with a business, a thriving business, and then Mama B had lots of land too, y'all. So Mama B was in partnership with 22-year-old Melinda, right? A Melinda clothing line. While she sold all the latest fashion. It was a thriving business. Get out of my store! Get out of my store! Mama B is yelling at the mob. Please get out of my store! Because Mama B knew they were there for terrorizing her. Suddenly, the mob began to trash her place. They started throwing flowers all over the floor, beans, rice, cutting her clothes. Shut the hell up, Mama. Shut the hell up. Get out of my store. I said, get out of here. Shut the hell up, Mama. Shut your mouth. That's what Billy said. Then he called to another one of his buddies. He said, Sam, he said, cut that ninja's throat. I want that ninja to shut up. So cut that ninja throat. I can't do it. I can't do it, said Sam. Billy said, what? do it? She used to breastfeed me. She used to breastfeed me. Oh, the mob started laughing. Hell, all them mammies used to breastfeed us. What do that mean? Now, y'all know how cold-hearted that is. And that's the truth. A lot of us, our ancestors had to breastfeed them. You only could breastfeed them on the right side, and then you breastfeed your baby on the left side. That was the side that you couldn't breastfeed, the little clear person had. Now they believe that because they had looked at us year after year after year, Black women's and Black people were getting older. So they knew our genes was superior. They wanted their children to survive, to have that physical strength, to have the fountain of youth. So they would make Black women feed their children, thinking that their children was going to grow up with this physical strength and the fountain of youth. Now this is what they say, y'all. Yeah, but anyway, it's some truth to it, but really they didn't know it was the melanin in our skin that gives us that, holds our skin intact like that. But anyway, the rest of the men laughed. They laughed. And hell, we all been raised by these ninjas. That's what he say. I'll do it, yelled another boy. He gets his blade out of his pocket, you guys. Yes, he did. He went over there and stabbed Aunt Linda. Mama B, 91-year-old Mama B, 90 sometime. But Sam couldn't take it. Sam jumped on his back because Sam really still had a heart. He still had a little heart for her. He remembered that this woman had took care of him. Well, of course, they wouldn't have it. You ain't nothing but a ninja lover. You're a ninja lover. That's all you is. Of course, what they did, they kicked him. They kicked the life out of him. Then you know what they did? They then cut that tongue out of Aunt Mama B's throat. Yes, they did. They cut the tongue out, you guys. And then they dashed flowers all over her face. She died with her eyes open. And they left looking for Luther. They still mad. They still going all across the village, terrorizing every Black person they saw. Yes, and so then finally, Aunt Linda, she on her way. Sarah started shutting down. She like, what's wrong, Sarah? Sarah, what's wrong? Y'all know Sarah, the horse was just bucking. He didn't want to go once he got to the place. And she said, well, I guess you need some water. We have been traveling a lot. So you just rest while I go in here in the stove. She's talking to Sarah. She took him over there to the well. Let him drink some water. But see, Sarah knew something was wrong. Them animals got them instinct. He knew before Aunt Linda got in that stove that something had happened in that stove. That's why Sarah didn't want it. Then Sarah was trying to pull her back, didn't want her to go in the stove. But finally, she said, I'm going to be all right, Sarah. Just rest. I know you're tired. You drink your water and you eat a little bit. And I'm going to go in here and talk to Mama B. She gets in there and she saw Mama B with her eyes wide open, tongue cut out, ears cut off, flour all over her face. Of course, she was very, very, very emotional over that, you guys. Yeah. But anyway, that's what we're talking about today. I'm going to end it right there and then I'll finish it up next time. What we're talking about today is how we are mutilated as women, especially the enslaved women back in slavery day. They were mutilated just for experiment, like Sarah Baultman. Her whole womb was cut out. Her vagina, her labia was cut out and put in a jar. Then you got Mr. Sims. That man is not no gynecologist, not no doctor. But what he was doing was experimenting on Black women, right? So I'm finna go to that. And then we talk about Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta Lacks was another Black woman where they went in there and took some of her cells out, right? And her cells rejuvenated. They kept rejuvenating. They never died. So they've been using this woman's Henrietta Lacks cells for the longest. 70 plus years done passed. And today, I think this week, her ancestor finally got a settlement. Attorney Crump was on the TV with the family showing that they finally got a settlement. Well, with Henrietta Lacks, they have been the billionaires. John Hopkins Hospital was the one that had took this lady's cells, and they call them the hella cells, the super cells. And all these scientists, all these pharmacists, whatever you call it, the medical world been using this lady gene cells, and they became billionaires off of it, right? The family never knew that. It just been recently that the family knew that they had took this woman's cell. And let me tell y'all something. She died from cervical cancer. They wouldn't even treat her with her own cells. They wouldn't even treat her with her own cells, y'all. And they had a cure that they could have helped her, but they didn't. But anyway, she died from cervical cancer. So her little great granddaughter was in college. And they were studying those cells. And I was too. I never knew that's the cells that we were studying under the microscope until lately. But anyway, she says, well, that sounds like when they called the name of the lady, she said, that's my family last name. And that was how they discovered. That's how she discovered that all these years that they've been using her great-grandmother's cells without the family knowing it. And then they've been trying to fight to get compensated, and they were always turned down, you guys. They told us they had the authority to do it. Just like Mr. Sims that said that we couldn't feel pain back in the day on the women that was enslaved, And today they say that Mr. Sims is justified. He goes down as one of the great fathers of medicine. So that's what I say. When they do something to us, they go down as heroes. If we do something to them, we're criminals. Okay, so Phyllis Crawford, let me just say something before I put the video up. Our scientist went to jail, but he is now released. One scientist went to jail, but he is now released. I don't know who is that. Put it down, write down who was in there. Y'all remember Dr. Sebi. They always put Dr. Sebi in jail. And Dr. Sebi was just using natural herbs to heal the body. Yes, they took Dr. Sebi to court. But Dr. Sebi won because his herbs was really healing people, Anyway, good morning, Black Titanic. Hey, Cecilia Roberts, did you get your book? I am late getting here, but I just want to thank you. Oh, you got it for my book and for signing it. I will cherish it forever. Yes. Okay, we're gonna get to the thing. Queen Jaja says, I saw people complaining about it on Twitter. Oh, you talking about complaining about the lawsuit that they just got. Y'all know they said undisclosed. They wouldn't tell how much they got. Or maybe the family didn't want nobody to know. It's okay. But I'm just glad that they have gotten something. But y'all know it took Attorney Crump was on board. Grand Rising, Suzette. Blessings, prayers, and love to all. Okay, y'all, let's get it. I'm finna start it off. I don't know which one coming first, but we finna do Sarah Baltman and Henrietta Lacks. The immortal cells of Henrietta Lacks, y'all. That woman her cells has cured polio. Back in the day when I was growing up, polio would cripple you, right? You don't see that anymore. Polio, all kinds of vaccines, y'all. AIDS, they use her cells for COVID now. They're using it for Parkinson disease. Just on and on and on and on and on. Y'all know that family deserved to be billionaires. Well, when Oprah did that movie, I was grateful for the movie, but I didn't like how they try to portray that family as being like they was crazy. But that's how they did in that movie.
Guess I didn't make them. Got time story to tell. Started when I was 9 years old. Woke up and daddy was gone. I started hustling and they couldn't tell me nothing. Running in the hood trying to be somebody.
So this is the family of Henrietta Lacks. This is the unveiling of a statue of her. But let's just see what's going on. The family attorney, Ben Crump, says that Henrietta Lacks' estate has reached a settlement in the case of the cells that were harvested without her consent. So over 70 years, this woman cells has been harvested from her. Okay? So Henrietta Lacks' family sues pharmaceutical company for using her cells without their consent. Lack is a mother of 5, will have turned 103 on Tuesday, according to the New York Times. She was 31 at the time of her death. Crump declined to further comment during the press conference per the outlet. Lack was a black woman who died of cervical cancer on October 4, 1951, nearly 2 months after her hospital stay began. During her time there, doctors extracted her cancer cells from a biopsy tumor without her consent, which was reportedly a common practice at that time. Yeah, they were always experimenting on us. Known as the Hiller cells, they continue to divide and remain visible outside of her body and test tube, allowing researchers to share the cells widely and perform. Hiller cells has contributed to a vast range of medical advancement, including vaccine development, cancer practice, cancer treatment, AIDS research, polio, Parkinson disease. So this is Henrietta Lacks, a very beautiful woman, right? Anyway, Lacks' family was unaware of her contribution to science for more than 2 decades. The suit against Thermo Fisher Scientific was first filed 2 years ago on behalf of Henrietta Lacks' estate, describing the use of cervical cells in a radical, unjust medical system. So anyway, they couldn't have been a more fitting day for her to have justice, for her family to have relief. Alfred Lacks, Carter Jr. said, it was a long fight, over 70 years, and Henrietta got her day. Remember, Oprah Winfrey produced a film about her. This is the story of Sarah Bartman of South Africa, who, she was just a typical black woman with a big butt, you guys. Today they pay for them, but anyway. Sarah Bartman, known as Soraya Bartman, was a kosher woman. She was born in South Africa in the late 1789. She is famous for being exhibited as a freak show attraction, like a zoo, y'all, in Europe in the early 18th century because of her large butt, which was considered unusual and exotic at the time. what people paid for it. Bartman was born in the Gambos Valley in what is now the Eastern Cape province of South Africa. She was a member of the Kohoki, a group of indigenous people who lived in that region. As a young woman, Bartman was taken from her home by a British ship, Dr. William Dunlop, who promised her work as a servant in Cape Town. However, instead of being employed as a servant, Bartman was taken to England and exhibited as a sideshow attraction. Bartman's large butt and elongated labia were considered unusual and exotic, and she was put on display in London and Paris, where people paid to gawk at her. Anyway, she was like she was in a zoo. She was also made to perform various tricks, such as dancing and singing for the entertainment of a spectator. Bartman was treated poorly during this time and was not paid for her performance. Sarah died of syphilis in 1815 at the age of 26. She was sexually assaulted multiple times, and her captor paid in exchange to experience Sahuho, anyway, sex with her, y'all, by her stage name. The Hottentot Venus and her remains were dissected and put on display. Yeah, they cut her butt out, her labia out, and put it in jars in a museum in Paris. In 2002, the South African government successfully campaigned for the return of Bartman's return to South Africa, and she was finally laid to rest in 2002. Bartman's story is a tragic one and served as a reminder of the exploitation and mistreatment of people of color throughout history. May she rest in eternal peace. And you too, Miss Henrietta Lacks, may you rest in peace. Mr. Sims was called the father of modern medicine. He he was no doctor. He was nothing, just cold-hearted, that's all. But anyway, Mr. Sims, they claim he would do research, was conducted on enslaved black women without anesthesia, anything medical. Historians say that black bodies were used as medical test subjects. We can go back as far as the history as the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, Henrietta Lacks, Sarah Bartman. Critics say Sims, that's that doctor, care more about the experiment than in providing therapeutic treatment. He caused untold suffering by operating under the notions that black people did not feel pain. Sims, that's that low-down doctor, who practiced medicine at a time when treating women was considered distasteful and rarely done, invented the vaginal spectrum, a tool used for dilating and examining the vagina. He also pioneered a surgical technique to repair vesico-vaginal fistula, a common 19th century complication after childbirth, which a tear between the uterus and the bladder caused pain and urine leakage. His defenders say that the southern-born slaveholder was simply a man of his time for whom end justified the means, and that it was okay to do these experiments on black women because we did not feel pain. May your bodies rest in peace, Henrietta Lacks and Sarah Bartman. Sarah Bartman treatment was just so horrific, you guys. They even cut off her labia, put it in jars, put it in museum, cut off her organs. But indeed, this guy tricked her. She thought she was going for a better life and a better job where she could make money. But instead, she was tricked and used as a zoo exhibit. A lot of times, these men took advantage of her. But they turned around and made what we call a can, so that these people with flat butts would stick out. You would starch that slip, and the slip would have your butt sticking out like Sarah Baldwin. They turn around and make fun of her, then copy off of her. Today, people are getting butt injection. But Sarah Bartman was just a typical black woman. And we mostly are born with behinds. May your soul rest in peace, Henrietta Lacks and Sarah Bartman. And I'm so glad that Henrietta Lacks' family finally got justice and a settlement for her, for the family. Yeah, that you guys know that that's sad. We have so many sad stories about how our ancestors was treated. And I was reading the other day about the enslaved pregnant woman, how they were treated too. That broke my heart. I never thought about it. I just kind of ran into it. But that broke my heart to read about how they would just breed our women's because they wanted to they needed more kids to work for them, so it didn't matter just as long as they were breeding. Even you was held prisoner, so that clear person, the owner, could come in your room and breed you out himself just for the hell of it. But they would snatch those babies away from those mothers not long after they were born. So but anyway, Miss Crawford said that, see if I could find it. I saw Miss Crawford said that they took her appendix out without her mother even knowing it. I wonder what they needed it for. They needed it for a study, right? They needed that appendix for something. They probably still using it. Yeah, probably still you probably like another Henrietta Lacks with your appendix if they took it out. And I had a friend, but this still I don't know if it's still going on, but I do know my friend was upset because her daughter labia was missing, right? Her daughter labia was missing, and she was just didn't know what she don't know when it happened and where it happened at. Of course, she remembered the daughter was in the hospital, but it was over in Nigeria. And so I told her, I'm married to my ex is an Ibu, and I'm married to somebody from the Ibu tribe. That was a common practice of though to cut off the female labia because they felt like they didn't want the lady to enjoy pleasure when she having sex. They just wanted to be for the man. Well, that's what my ex-husband told me. But I don't know if they're still doing it. But I do know that you have, in modern times now, you have a lot of women's over there that's start women's rights, that they're not to be mutilated like that anymore, the little girls. And they don't get it. They don't give them no anesthesia. My ex-husband said he just put motor oil down there and then just cut it off. Yeah. So my friend was upset because she was staying over there. She stayed over there. She supposed to have been over there a month, but she was over there like about 10 years because they took a passport and she couldn't get back. They didn't want her to come back. So, she was, by the time I met her. I just got married to my husband. I never would go over there. He would beg me, beg, and I like, oh, I would die. Y'all would do me like that. And then, yeah, and then I was afraid. I had a little girl. That's the one having the baby. I'm going to a baby thing today. I'm like, oh no, y'all won't be cutting off my daughter labia over there. No, 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 no. But anyway, that's just culture differences. But in this case, with Sarah Bartman, they treated that woman so horrible. You guys, if you read up on it, you would be so sad. And they took advantage of her sexually. Those European men's over there. That's why they say she died with syphilis. Yeah, let's see what you're saying, Seceded. Said my pastor wife told me years ago how women's in India got uh, massages every day for 40 days after their babies were born. They are required to get rest too and good food. Yeah, yeah, y'all know that. That mother need to be pampered too. Yeah. I had 3 babies, so yeah, I do know that you are very drained and emotionally too. You got a lot of females that go through postpartum depression, and just think, Cecilia, if we pampered our mothers like that, maybe that postpartum depression would go away. Sexy Mama at 60, speaking to Braylon. Sexy Mama at 60, always good to see you and agree. Okay, y'all, anybody got any stories that they know of in the past, have heard of with taking in the black men's too? They did that syphilis study on the black men's. So black men's and black women's. Anybody got any stories that they want to share? It don't necessarily have to be what I share, but something that I don't even know about, that come to your mind about. Today we concentrating on our ancestors and how they was treated back in the day. And we can go till today. When it comes to the medical world, we are treated less than in the medical world still today. Like I said, they still feel like you're they still feel like you're treated with less pain. Now, y'all, I did tell y'all that I was diagnosed with cervical cancer when I was like about 20, 21, something in that area. But I refused to do any treatment, whatever. I relied on natural herbs. And here I am today, a senior citizen, and they ain't saw nothing. And I do believe that they were lying to me, y'all. I believe that I didn't have anything down there, because I didn't know they don't see nothing down there. So we have to be careful when they come to us and tell us that, you got this, you got that, you got to do at least 3. I would do at least 3 doctors to tell me before I really believe it, you guys, because that's what we have to do. We cannot trust this medical world. They do so much to us that we can entrust it. Say, for instance, most of our little black boys is born with not cerebral palsy. Oh, Lord, I hate it when I get a block like that. But a lot of black children are born. But anyway, they say it's come with the immunization to where, it's some kind of brain disorder that they have. And one of my grandbabies got it too. It's not cerebral palsy. It'll come to me. Anyway, so let's just say hi to everybody. Did I say hi to Miss Crawford? Miss Crawford, how did your mother, that you were the one, Miss Crawford, how did your mother find out that your appendix was missing? And I wonder what they doing with it. You probably, it's another Henrietta Lacks and don't even know it. Where you got them super cells that they studying them super cells. Yeah. So and what they do too, they make it hard for you to defend your side. Oh, here you go. Yes, here's one right here. I'm trying to open up the chat before I do that. I wanted us to educate ourselves. Planned Parenthood was used to sterilize black women. Thank you, pretty brown eyes. Yes. And do you guys know that a lot of that the birth control is really bad. Birth control runs your blood pressure up. I've known so many women that had strokes or blood clots and died from the birth control pills. And you know, they didn't know that's what was going on with them, but with the modern advances now, we do know that birth control pills causes strokes because it causes your blood pressure to go up. So Planned Parent here, yeah, they was down. That's what Planned Parenthood was started for. Thank you, pretty brown eyes. It was started because they said that after slavery, you know, or during slavery, they didn't want us to keep on reproducing, right? It's too many of us. And the theory behind it is to sterilize us so that way, you know, we won't keep producing and outnumber them. Yeah, that's what that was for. So Parenthood in that lady that was over that Parenthood, she was a racist. I mean, she used to wear y'all know them meetings where they had their white robes on. She was a known Ku Klux Klansman. And indeed, if you ask Miss Sister Clinton, the female Clinton, the vice president, she said that is her mentor. And I said, what a mentor to have a Ku Klux Klansman for a mentor. All right. Grand Rising. Have a blessed Saturday. Hey, Renita. Hi, how are you? Okay, you guys. So I guess, oh, yeah, here it is. Autism. This is it. That's why I love y'all. That is. Autism is on the rise. And let me tell y'all what. If y'all know this about autism now, it's so frequent in our black community. And all these little free clinics that you take your children to is targeted. And it mostly targeted at our black boys. That's what I'm trying to think of. My grandson, he got autism, bless his heart. Yeah, and I knew exactly when we took him to that free clinic in the hood. Yeah, he was targeted. So they will target your children. They are targeted. Y'all, most all this free health care, but that's what that be for, to target you, because they know we're coming. A lot of us don't have health insurance, right? But we're always the object of experiment. So be careful, you guys, with your medication. And I tell y'all too, y'all know good morning, Pinky. Y'all know the typical child that's black or white. They got a lot of energy. But what they do in school, they want to diagnose them and get them medication to calm them down. Do not let them give your children no medication. That's equal to giving them crack. Some of these children, some of our black children, and I got somebody in the family like that. She be crawling all on her knees. She's just a baby now. When she run out of that mess, be crawling all on her knees looking for some medicine. A baby now. Well, she like 12 now, but they started her on there really early because they said that she was hyper. She was so hyper, and then they're trying to give her something to calm her down. Don't let them give your children medicine. Don't allow them to put your children in special ed too. A lot of our children don't need to be in special ed. It's up to you. Remember they tried. My daughter was a straight A student. I say straight A. She didn't make no B's or nothing, even C's. And we transferred to another school. She came out of this school, this gifted program. And that new school I put her in was saying that She needed to be in special ed. I said, the hell with you. You didn't put my daughter in no special ed. And then you know how the Board of Education going to be writing your letters. I said, okay, well, just give me 6 months to work with my daughter. If my daughter, that's the one having the baby right now. If my daughter uh, has not progressed by then I'll consider it. But y'all don't be so quick to let them diagnose your children. A lot of us are just, okay, well, all right, we'll start them on that medication, that Ritalin. Ritalin ain't nothing. It's just like heroin or crack, giving your children. We'll start them on that Ritalin because, well, they too hyper. When they supposed to be hyper. That's what they supposed to be at their age. Yeah, so they always want to put out, especially our black boys, they want to throw them in special ed. And that's the first thing they want to do. Don't do that. You work with your child. You sit down and work with your child. Sometimes it could just be one area. Now I'm going to tell y'all something. I am an F student in math. I am so educated, so A student. I will ace anything, but you put that math in front of me, I can do basic math, but all that algebra, geometry, all that kind of mess, just so yeah. What? Oh, here you go. Thank you, babe. This is it. That's why I love y'all. Attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity disorder. Thank y'all. That's why I love y'all. Cause sometimes my brain feed. Welcome, Pinky the Housewife. Y'all know Pinky the Housewife was another content creator. I think Trinity is on here. Braylon is on here. Thank y'all, all the content creators for being over here. Yeah, they're attention. That's what they do. They diagnose them with attention deficit disorder. I love to listen to Dr. Umar, because that's what he specialized in black boys. Yeah. I love to listen to him about that. That's exactly what they do. And they always target little boys. Now I got my little niece up there. She 12 years old now. That's the one was all on the floor looking for her medicine, man. That thing hurt me. I told my sister. Now my sister like 102, trying to raise that little girl. Trying to raise, can you imagine that you're 102, you're trying to raise your great, great, great grand. But anyway, whatever they told her, she just let them dead. And I said, ain't nothing wrong with her. She's supposed to be hyper at 6. Hell, what you want the children to be all lethargic like they 80-something years old? They don't do their children like that. They don't do their kids like that. But anyway, hey, trending at some point. Trinity, at some point, hello, how are you? And then, oh Lord, they want black boys to act like the Esau. Yes. And then it kills a lot of their brain cells. They supposed to be our future leaders, you guys. It's always a plot, a plan, or something. And if you got them hooked on that Ritalin, diagnosed with all this medicine from school, they can't perform at when they get grown as grown men. Casey said, Miss Black Titania, you're so correct. Thank God I had a good doctor. When my son was younger, he didn't believe in putting children on medicine. He suggested we change his diet and it worked. Yeah, diet, it worked. Yeah, them little babies don't need to be on no medication. What the hell wrong with y'all adults? Some of y'all adults don't put a little bit of babies need to be on medication for. Yeah, I don't play that in his family. I don't play that. Hi, Miss Black Titan. Oh yeah, I just read that. Yes. And our black boys are targeted. They are in these schools, you guys, and just experiment on. It's so much that they come after us for. All right, let's talk. Come on, that's right. Talk back to me. I want to talk about this. For decades, Harlan Hospital was known to be a great hospital to have a baby. Not so much now. As an adult, I understand now how important it was. Yeah. Here you go. Especially when the children behave bad. That's the first place they want to place them. Look, sexy mama at 60. I'm going to tell y'all what my sisters, my family have always been educators. And my sister would say, well, they were always, you had them little clear people. The little clear people always picking with your children. Soon as your children fight back, they label them bad. They'll label them bad. Yeah, they bad. They messing up in class. They disturbing my classroom. So I started experiencing that with my grandson. He grown now in his 30s. And is the little clear boy always pick with him. He come home crying. I like, look, you don't expect for your grandma to get up and fight your battles for you. You better knock the hell out of him. And I'm tired. I got tired of him picking with him. I said, knock the hell out of him. I done went up to the school. I talked to the teachers. I talked to the principal. I did all I was supposed to do, but they still allowing this little clear person to just do what he wanted with you. Knock the hell out of him. They're going to take you to the principal office, and don't worry about it because I'm not going to be mad with you. You just do what you got to do. Of course, he did what he needed to do. And y'all know what happened? They suspended him for 7 days. But it was okay. I said it's okay, and I told you I was not gonna get mad at you. You cannot allow that. So yeah, they start labeling our kids back to my he too bad. He was disrupted in the classroom. We either gonna have to put him on some medication that really and all that old mess, But I wouldn't let him do it. So yeah. Be conscious with what's going on with school, with your children. Don't allow them to put your children on no medication. Don't allow them to put your children in no special ed. A lot of times our children, they might not need no special ed. Or they just might just one subject they might be lacking in. But we have to really, really, really monitor that school system too, y'all. Because that's where a lot of that experiment coming from on our children. Okay, we can live. Let's see. Yeah, and do y'all know how much money they get out of that? That school gets so much money. They're not trained doctors or nothing when they don't talk about your kid need to be on reeling or whatever because they hyperactive and they are bad. They ain't no psychiatrists. They know nothing. But they allowed to put your children on medication and diagnose your children. Most parents put them on medication to get a Social Security check. Phenomenal Black woman. Yeah, I heard of that. But the school even gets even more. So the schools got their own thing where they can profit, So who they gonna profit off? Your little black children. Yeah, the school so many per child. I don't know how much money they get, but they get a lot of money per child if you put them in that special ed, if you got them on that medication. Yes, ma'am. Okay, yes, succeeding. They may simply need their learning modified. Yes, my sister-in-law, bless her heart, she's deceased now, and she's had a PhD, and they wanted her to teach at the rich school, but she didn't. She wanted to be in the hood. She like me. She liked to do things for the hood. So she noticed that they would target those children, and I would tell her, because I'd be on the streets. Now that child right there, he can't go in the house until he'd have made his quota. Now back in the day, y'all, you do have parents like that. They don't want to go to jail for selling drugs. So they would sit their little kids outside to sell drugs. And they can't come back in the house until they met a certain quota. And this particular child was a little boy now. I knew that's what was going on in his household. He'd come to school and he could learn. So, and I was so glad that my sister-in-law was in my sister-in-law classroom. So what she would do in that area, she would let all of them take a nap. That's what she did. And it worked too. After they could take a nap for about an hour. She'll spend that time doing whatever she needs to do, the paperwork. They could take their nap, and then she said after that day, her student was the number one in the whole district. So it was going on in that environment. All that drugs was going on around them, shooting, whatever, or they got to get out and sell drugs. It's a lot be going on sometimes to keep these children from learning, right? Now, if she would have took their advice and put these kids on medication, it wouldn't have did nothing but made them drug addicts, right? So sometimes we got to have the right teachers there. And God forbid, it just got so bad now to we don't have a lot of black teachers anymore, especially male teachers. God getting on teachers, man. Can y'all imagine? I'm finna talk about him now. Can y'all imagine Martel being a teacher? And one thing Martel said in that when he did his confession growing up, and then when he moved on to when he was a teacher, that they told him he'd be on that phone too much. Did y'all remember that? Go back and watch. It said that they came to him and told him that he always on the phone. So in other words, he was not teaching them children. He always on the phone that they got to call him to the office. And probably the kids probably complained too. Yeah, said he said that out of his mouth. And I always wonder how the hell, this man teaching our children. Yeah, and then that's when he said, well, then after that, I told him I wanted to retire. They probably fired him. But he said, I told him that I was going to retire. And that's when I went into the property preservation business or something. Black Titania, I'm 67 years old and have learned so much about Black history from you. I really appreciate you. Hey, Renata, y'all so sweet. Okay, let's see about what y'all saying. I like it when y'all talk back. We got to learn stuff with each other. Ben Carson was labeled initially by his mother, made him and his brother start reading young. That reading is very important, and y'all know now they know that inside the mother's womb that the children can hear and listen. So and inside the womb now they know that the baby understands inside that womb. So now they recommend that you read while you're pregnant. He resented being a teacher, Pretty Brown Eyes. Yeah, he make fun of teachers, y'all. And y'all know remember Erin called herself clapping back at Mel, talking about some Miss Teacher or something. But y'all know I was on that, worked on that floor. I did so many different types of nursing. But in my older years here in Atlanta, I was teaching nursing, and I loved it. I really did. I loved teaching. I couldn't keep up on that flow no more. And I can't stand them long hours. Everybody on them 12-hour shifts. So yeah, I started teaching. Oh, I just loved it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got to be in your heart, and it's got to be in your heart, y'all. Okay, we're finna get to love and marriage, Huntsville. Thank y'all for talking back to me. I love it when y'all talk back to me. And Pretty Brown Eyes said he resented being a teacher. Oh yeah, Pretty Brown Eyes is another beautiful. That girl is so beautiful to me. And who else is really pretty to me? Brown skin girl, that little chocolate girl like that. That girl's so cute to me too, that young lady. But anyway, Pretty Brown Eyes, the beautiful Pretty Brown Eyes, said that he resented being a teacher, and that's why he made fun of Melody. I remember when they were sitting at that table and he called himself being smart and told Melody to just to dissolve everything, and she dissolved. Then he started talking about her being she was nothing but a teacher. You weren't nothing but a teacher. That's what he was saying. And guess what? That teaching skill that she got allowing her to make millions of dollars. Y'all know she teaching them property preservation class. Y'all know how much money. I think she get like $250,000 a month just teaching them. I'm not sure, y'all, but I look like I saw $250,000 some she get per month. But anyway, or more just teaching those classes. Now you know that's something he could do since he's supposed to be a teacher. Yeah, so yeah, ain't nothing but a teacher. Let's see what ADR say. ADR gonna say something to make me laugh. Probably Marty teacher, with a question mark, for being on his phone. Yeah, that's what they said, AR, that he was always on his phone. They called him in the office. Probably looking at probably he on the phone in the classroom looking at the booty shaking. I would put it past him, y'all. Y'all see what AR say? He probably on the phone in the classroom looking at booty shit. Wait, and Cha Cha, while needs the kids' needs, probably aimlessly pacing about unsupervised, scared. Yeah, fire. You think Marty is an idiot? Yeah, you're right, but I wouldn't put a past him, ADR, just sitting up there on his phone in the classroom, just doing what they want to do. Yeah, when I was in Bessemer, Alabama, I never forget. I had a teacher named Miss Smith, and all she did was sleep the whole 8 hours. And we taught each other. In them days, you couldn't there to learn. We taught each other. We would get up and whatever was in that book, we would take turns and read. She would asleep, and she was old. She was so old. I was like, Lord. I said, Lord, now that I think about it, I know that she probably really need to be retired, but they wouldn't retire. Janetta Boyd said 3,000 per person for property preservation class. Yes. And Arian called herself making fun of her for being a teacher. Oh, yeah. Thinking of property preservation, y'all do remember when she took the students to that house across the street on Manston Lake. They done put the roof up now, y'all. I can't wait to see that house when they get finished with it. And I think I saw one confession where they do hire those students to do the work for them. Yeah. So I'm wondering why, everybody, Maurice. Y'all remember Maurice wanted in on that money. Maurice wanted in on that property preservation classes, because during that meeting of that combat group or whatever you want to call that Black Expo, Maurice asked her to do that, and stupid Tisha shut it down. Talking about no. But Mel wasn't gonna do it no way. But Tisha shut it down. But yeah, it's a lot of money in that property preservation classes. They got a brand new roof up there. And that roof looked nice because I used to pass by there. I knew it needed a new roof up there. And yeah, so I'll let y'all see. When I go back to Alabama, I'll go past there, let y'all see what the students did to that house. Okay, succeeding to say how to go from allegedly working at the prison to stealing ATM to teaching. Yeah, he hated that teaching. Yeah, but he didn't hate being a thief, did he, y'all? In his confession now, his confession of growing up, close that door right there because I got all that glare. In his, your woman know how to open the door back. Close the door. So in his confession, y'all, he said everything except for that ATM. Now I'm finna put him on in a minute, but Martel talked about his life growing up, right? You guys, I don't know if all y'all seen it, how hard it was for him. And the little brother told the truth. The little brother said, well, we had to raise ourselves, right? Had to raise ourselves, y'all. So they were out hustling and stealing. That's why I put that song on. Daddy was gone, mama out in the streets, grandma probably old. Grandma might have had to work. Or grandma was just too old. Sometimes you want to raise the kids, but you just be old and you're tired and you just can't do it. And you can't do nothing with them boys. Can't do nothing with them boys. They's out there hustling and stealing. He won't say it. He won't say it. He just say that he talked about he didn't have good clothes on and being bullied. That's what he talked about, y'all. And so Marlene was not. I don't say what they say about her in the street. Yeah, Marlene was really out there in them streets when them children were growing up. And then I don't want to hear that they're young. You have a lot of mothers that had their babies young, but they're good mothers. That's not no excuse. If you're a good mom, you're a good mom. I know you need some guidance. So you're gonna need some guidance, but that don't stop you from having that nurturing personality. Yeah. So yeah, they had to raise themselves. Them boys was they were the one terrorizing the neighborhood. So if he was a bully, he said they were bullying him because he didn't have great clothes and great shoes on, So he turned around. He's a bully now. Martel appears to not have no respect for women. Martel appears to hate women. If y'all look at how he treat women, even his so-called person that he say he loved, which was Melody, the one that he married. Look how he treats her. And not to mention how he never had no respect for coleslaw or bedbug, but it seems as though he just got this animosity towards mother. A lot of them don't think that mother, his dad went around, but he'll blame the mom, for the way he grew up. Yeah. What is this y'all saying? Lots of kids have to raise themselves and turn out just fine. Yes, turn out just fine. Now he did try to turn his life around, but he's still got them criminal ways. He's grown, but got that criminal mindset. That criminal mindset come with all kinds of psychological disorder. So I don't know, I'm not no doctor. He might, since his mama was in the street, perhaps he was born with some kind of, addiction. A lot of them back in the day in the 90s, a lot of them got in that crack world. They put that crack in our community. So dad already gone, then you got mama on crack. Well, that goes to community. They really, when they did they said a war on drugs. They planted the drugs in the community, and then they went to war. The war was locking up everybody, mom and mom and dad and the men and the kids too. That left the children. When I first moved here in Atlanta, I never seen so many. When I say homeless children, I took so many children in when I first moved down this way. I mean, just most of them was boys that was out there on the street. I didn't even know them. They could have killed me or did anything they want to me because I did not know them. All I knew was they were homeless and somebody need to step in, and I did. Yes, I stepped in. I didn't get no help. I did get food stamps, but I didn't get no checks or nothing for them, So, but yeah. So so let's see what you're saying right here. Martel listing himself as a teacher coach at Sparkman Middle School. He was probably doing the after school program only. Whatever he was doing, they didn't like it because he said that they called him in the office and told him he'd be on that phone too much. And then that's when he said that, he quit. He gonna go full time as property reservation. He also, y'all know he can't talk without talking about Melody. He also, went into things about him and Melody and how they met. But if you notice him, he always is the person that made Melody. Melody didn't make him, he made Melody. He say that in all his things. Alleged bullying. This is ADR. He said, I doubt was cause he didn't have some Jordache jeans, he's saying. I think he was probably a snitching tattletale. Oh, you think he'll snitch? Yeah, he do have that kind of snitching personality, dude. Little Miss Jenkins, gossip boy. Then as he know, you know what, ADR? Yeah, I wouldn't do if I was a criminal. I wouldn't do no crime with Martel. I wouldn't. He gossip too much. Neither one of them. None of them men's on Love and Marriage Huntsville. They gossip too much because you doing crimes with them. They gonna throw you under the bus. Y'all saw what he said about Arian. He threw Arian on that bus with Carson. In other words, oh, don't put me in it. Arian is the one told you that. I didn't tell you that. Something like that. But in other words, he was throwing Arian on the bus. ADR, you truly have a unique way with words. I love you. ADR, oh, ADR sure do Greta. Greta, yeah, he be fun. She be funny too. Okay, y'all, let me put the tapes on. And then I'm gonna bring Pinky. I don't know if Pinky gonna come up, but let me go and put this up. I'm gonna put this up and then I'm gonna put the invite on because this just gonna be 10 minutes. Just gonna be about 10 minutes. So anybody want to come up, y'all just have to come up and wait. I got the invite on. The likes are higher than the number watching 164 and 157 watch. That's right, y'all hit that like button. Greta Lisa, I love Pinky. She's so funny and smart. Y'all know Pinky. Pinky and ADR, both of them is funny. I got they crazy to me. Okay, I'm finna put Pinky, I'm finna put this
I'm here.
hey, hold
Hello,
on.
everybody.
Okay, I'm finna put the
Oh, let me do something. Let
presentation.
me do something to get rid of that echo. Now, can you hear me? I'm ready. I'm eating breakfast at the same time because I just woke up. You didn't call me and wake me up. You can't hear me? What did I
Pinky,
do?
hold it, Pinky. I'm
Okay.
putting up this thing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm finna put up. This is on Martel and a cowgirl. I'm looking for a cowgirl.
I want to be a cowgirl there. So look at the
Yeah.
flag there. Y'all got to. I'm just early this morning. My husband didn't wake me up because I oversleep when I don't get woken up.
That one thing's for sure. I'm so glad I have my own money and don't gotta be nice to men so I can eat. Is she throwing shade at Arian? Who we know? Who do we know that don't work? Who do we know brag about how she has to depend on Marty here? She had to depend on old Marty for a ride. She had to depend on old Marty to eat. Y'all, Marty y'all did this. hold on. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
bring Marty y'all did that. up. Give So me about she's 10 so minutes of dependent this. on Marty. But this lady right here said, I've got my own money and don't gotta be nice to men so I can eat. And you know what? I like that, Tiffany. I like you saying that. And I think all women need to be like that. If we can't do nothing else, we need to be able to take care of ourselves. Shay. She throwing that shade at Arian Curry. That's just my opinion. Because that's who we know that Martell is attached to. That's who we know that who is depending on Martell. Yeah, word out in the street that yeah, her car got repossessed. Then she doesn't need to have ability to get up and work and go buy her own self a car. She want Marty to buy her one of these expensive cars. Word out on the street that she went to the dealership. She was trying to get a car She wanted one like Mel. She wanted a car like Mel, y'all. He couldn't afford it. They say he couldn't afford it, so he dropped her all back at home, or he dropped her on the curb where she go. She was so ungrateful till she didn't even get a car. She wanted an expensive car. She wanted a showboat, but old Marty said, "I ain't got it. I ain't got it. You know what? You just have to buy one of your own." Yes, old Tiffany said, "I'm so glad I have my own money and don't gotta be nice to men so I can eat. Ain't gotta be kissing their butts neither, Tiffany. That's right." From me, and they try to buy your pretty heart, but price too high.
Let's put her on America's Got Talent together a fund for her.
So you can put me again and throw me against that wall. Baby, you got me like won't you stop loving me? Don't quit loving me. Just stop loving me, yeah. I'm dead. I'm without eyes. Just to get close to you. And I run for miles just to get a taste. Must be and you got me like how, yeah. What you want from me? What you want from me? And they try to buy your pretty heart, but price too high. Baby, you got me like apple. Your love will not fall apart. So you can put me again and throw me against that wall. Baby, you got me like won't you stop loving me? Don't quit loving me. Just stop loving me, yeah. I'm dead. I'm without eyes. Just to get close to you. And I run for miles just to get a taste. Must be This is Black Titanic. Hit that like button, share and subscribe. I hear that? She looking for a cowgirl. Martel host looking for that cowgirl. We went home with her too. Yeah, he went home to play with that cowgirl. Harry Curry. They were rolling in that hay. Anyway, so Martel goes off into the sunset with the cowgirl. Shout out to Queen Sheba. I'm looking for you. I forgot the edit. So melody just so bottom. I'm focusing and can't remember dreams. So I had to cut the music off. But she got such a beautiful voice, and that pink and black was good on her. Now she's definitely unbothered. She's happy. at peace with herself. So anyway, Melody, I'm happy for you. Let's talk with Shauna.
Hey, Miss Titanic.
I'm singing. Stop playing. No, stop that. He like Kiki Palmer. He's singing to you married. Righteous. Hold on, why you being so? They didn't say it. They messed. They sent it. Hey, y'all please say something about teaching it, okay? I'm gonna read it. Hey, just because they seen it, they don't mean to read it. He saw 10 people on there. Y'all tell the number one lady hello. No. You didn't have to say anything. It was her. It was Penny. We got Nell over there. We got Nell Fletcher. Not alone. We got Chris over there. TikToker, baby. The number one TikToker in the country. Hey, look, we just got to having a good time. We filmed out here for about 4 days out here in Houston. Hey, listen, yeah, we filmed out for about 4 days. It's been amazing. Hey, Kimmy, they said hello. You got a word for him, Kimmy? Hey, Nurse Kimmy, come on, Nurse Kimmy. Hey, who gave you that show back in the day? Don't worry. If you on here, boy, you ain't much vlogger. Yeah, I know, right? Where he at now? He cooking. Where are they now? Joe, my guy, he gonna be on VH1. Oh, that's kind
So what Martel is doing right now is
they said, hey, Kimmy, don't y'all speak to Kimmy no more now, okay? My life. Kimmy, go live.
Trying to send a message that he's okay. Everything he does is to say I'm okay.
Nah, look, they can show Kimmy love. It's good.
But he can't hide it in his face.
We love y'all too.
Showing that he is.
Yes, Martel Hope. I am single, okay? Yes, I'm single. Yeah.
That
whatever name change ceremony.
Look in his eyes.
Martel name change
That look in his cheeks.
I'm not having a name change. He's dropping the LT.
That's why he cries so quickly. But he don't want to admit it.
Y'all hear how she throwing shade at Mel?
Y'all hear Kimmy and Pittsburgh Dope over there. Baby, only. Thanks. We are. Oh, it definitely ain't me. Martel wasn't bringing me.
Look like he about 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I think that's anybody. Right. Hey, yeah, Marcel. See that, Marcel? You spreading bullshit. Is Tisha pregnant? Yes. Yeah, she pregnant. Not by Marcel.
She shaped up like her mama. I believe it.
Hey, oh, shit.
He was pregnant.
So why you repeating them things? She knows my heart. She knows my heart. But don't go against it, though. Yeah. What's up? Y'all doing good? Listen. Down here hollering. He been out here working. No, Tisha ain't pregnant. She took a pregnancy test last week.
Good morning, Miss Black Titanic. Good morning, everybody.
Let me get this off of
Good
here.
morning, Miss Black Titanic. Finally made it up here, girl.
All right, hold on, y'all. Let me put this picture up here. Let me see if it's gonna show.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to show this picture. I guess it's gonna show. I was trying to show y'all a big old picture of Tisha, that body.
Oh, I
There
seen
she
it.
go, y'all. Oh,
You look
it's
like
all
Bill
right
jumping out
on
that
there, y'all.
mouth.
Let me see y'all. Look at that. Look
Oh,
at
she
that,
shaped
y'all.
like Wanda.
And
She
for a
shaped
man
up
to
like
say
her
he look
mama,
good.
y'all. We got all that girdle on. When we see her with them clothes, she got them girdles on.
Stuffed
Look
in them
at her
clothes like
body.
a
Yeah, the
turkey.
BBL and it's BBL in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That is
My
What
son,
do
Tisha.
you call them things that sucks you in is a girl,
my
Well, you
son
whatever.
can
shaped
get
like that
lipo, but you got to
too.
keep working out.
You said
Mm-hmm.
what?
If you get a tummy tuck and lipo, you got to keep working out and watching what you eat. She ain't been
Right.
doing it.
You got to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep
Tisha's
it.
need for attention is getting disgusting.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean, that's
becoming
hooker
exhausting.
wear.
You look terrible.
That
And for
outfit
a
is
man
so
to bring that
inappropriate.
out, I'm sorry.
Exactly. And she a mom and a wife at that. I mean,
Hello,
come on.
everybody. Hello, welcome. Oh, them get Cecilian up here. Welcome, everybody. Y'all ready to talk?
We
Yes,
ready.
we
Yes,
are.
Good
ma'am.
morning.
Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Hello, Grand Rising, everybody.
Grand Rising.
Grand
Yes. So we
Rising.
want to talk about what do y'all think about this? What upset me was that Kimmy would make fun of a melody like that. She know the hardship and the heartbreak that woman went through just to get her last name changed.
And she
Yeah, she
knows
had
it.
no compassion for Melody. All of them sat there laughing.
Right. That's why I have to. I can't take Kimmy no more.
Kimmy doesn't care though. That's who she's been. She's been who she was. She doesn't care.
She's just
I
like
don't
my
expect
sister.
much from Kimmy because she a side chick turned wife. So I
Right.
really don't expect much.
So she is
Side chicks lack a compassion gene anyway.
right.
They
That's
they
right.
don't
Yeah.
care. They
That's why she identified with Martell more than she did with Melody.
exactly. Yep.
They knew all along though that he was cheating and they smiled in her face. So I don't expect
Mm-hmm.
anything more from absolutely anyone that could claim to be your friend, laugh and know for 3 years plus that your husband was having an affair and
Right.
wonder why you're not speaking to them or telling them your business.
And if I believe if
Um.
Kimmy could, before she got sick, she would have been jumping Martell bones if he let her.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she loved to rub on him.
Yep.
Do anybody remember that episode when Mel was pregnant with Sugar Mama, and she said she felt sorry for the girl?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, you know what I had forgot all about her. She sure did say she felt sorry for Bedbug.
Yeah,
I
she
knew
she
Oh,
she
right
been
then that she was one herself.
she been nasty.
Yeah. Remember Kimmy said, um, well, she's hurt too.
Right.
she's hurt. Oh, Lord.
Um, uh, AK or AT or whatever, AC, whatever her name is.
Right.
I
Um,
call her
Roach
STD.
girl. Roach
I
girl that
just
won't go
call her
away.
coleslaw.
I
So
call
good.
her BD.
So Marcel was saying I'm hurting, and Kimmy came and she said everyone is hurting, but that girl is hurting too, Martel, and she was showing compassion for AC because she does understand the pain of being a side chick and having
Yeah.
someone still in love with their wife and going back and forth to their
Yeah.
wife.
And I think she did it because she just doesn't like Melody.
Yeah.
She came
So
on
she
the
never
show not
showed Melanie
liking her.
compassion.
She never liked her. And she holds everyone accountable for everything except herself.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Like
can we do the statistics? Melody and met Martell, and 9 months later, he asked her to marry him. You got Tisha trapping a man with a baby to get a husband,
Mm-hmm.
and you got Kimmy having to put the man's name on her house and
Mm-hmm.
waiting 7 years to become a wife.
That is true.
Dude, if I were male, I'd be understanding why these helpers is hating on me too.
Yeah, in their vows, he said, to love, honor, and you promised to raise my son so I don't have to pay that child support, so I could put that money
Facts.
towards a car. And that's exactly what he did. He married Kimmy so that he could bring his son up there to that house because he didn't have one, and so that he did not have to send that money to Kiowa.
But y'all notice he didn't get married to her to the show.
Yeah, because I was gonna say
Oh,
it's for the
facts.
show to me. He did it for the show.
And he didn't even take her on a honeymoon. He made no investment. He didn't provide a roof over her head. He didn't give her a ring. His job was to pay for the honeymoon. He didn't pay for the honeymoon for what, 2 years?
He didn't pay for the honeymoon. That was given to them. That was
Wait,
given.
hold it, y'all.
Yeah, Destiny gave it.
Can y'all introduce yourself to the audience? Y'all just talking, nobody said anything else. Y'all introduce your name to the chat, please.
So my name is Elena Chase.
Okay.
And that's it.
Elena.
Hi, everybody. This is my first time on the chat ever.
Oh,
Welcome.
And I just love you, Miss Titanic.
Welcome.
My dad was a civil rights leader in New York.
Wow.
Wow.
I lost him a year ago, but
So
one of the
sorry.
things that he did when I was in college, well, just out of college, he took me over to New York to see Kawanju Kunjufu speak, and he wrote this book, countering the conspiracy to destroy Black boys. And after we read your book, which I have asked my mother's group, book club of 30 to join in and read it with us. Hopefully we can read it as a group, and you could expound on that to the women in our community so that we can help to counteract that conspiracy, to destroy not just the boys but our men. And that's all I have to say, but I'm glad to be here and thank you for having me.
Thank you. Next.
I'm Tawanda Hill. I'm a healthcare provider. I've been in healthcare for over, good God, 30 some odd years. I ain't know what that long. Whew.
Wow.
I'm a registered nurse. I'm currently getting ready to go back into school to get my master's in nursing so I can do more teaching. Right now, I'm in the mental health field of
Wow.
it. I work with autism spectrum disorder as well as IDD as well as mental health.
Mm.
I am I'm slowly dipping my interest into content creating. I think that's what I probably do when I finally decide to retire. But I'm only 47 right now, so I still got some time. And I am a grandmother, for first time grandmother.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
She's something. I
Congratulations.
am. Thank you. And I currently right now live in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations on first time grandmother.
Thank you, thank you. I was
Yes.
like in shock and in disbelief when they told me, cause like my son and his fiance are good for playing pranks. So I didn't believe it till the baby actually got here. So
I don't have any. I wish I did. I've been trying to
yeah.
get one.
Okay, next.
Hi, this is Succeeding Two. I'm the quiet, shy one of the group, like Pinky. I didn't hear Pinky introduce herself. Pinky, they know who Pinky and I
You know
are.
the housewife.
Yeah, they know. Somebody know you got some new members on here today, y'all.
Oh, okay.
Everybody don't know y'all. We got some new
Oh,
members. And welcome new members.
hi, new members.
Hi, new members. Hi,
Hi, new
Tina
members.
from
I-
Point.
I'm Black Titanic's marketing executive. I help. What I do is I do help. I work in the health profession, but I do help I have a project management background, but I do help companies to obtain greatness. I'm certified, actually, as a side business. I'm a certified um, mystery shopper. And so I go to corporations and help there to leverage areas that need improvement. And I help businesses to focus on areas of where they could achieve greater success in my community. And I don't charge the businesses in my community because I like to have a community that's thriving with business owners that get to greatness. And I'm also I do corporate fundraising,
Wow.
and that is about it about me. I'm a daughter
Well,
of an educator.
Tisha and them needed to hire you then. They you wouldn't have got
No,
paid, but
No, you won't
Yes.
get paid.
don't
okay,
fundraise for
Pinky.
crooks.
You're not getting paid.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't have
Pinky.
gotten paid, right?
Pinky, introduce
Yeah.
yourself to the. We got new people out here.
Okay. Good morning, guys. I'm Pinky, the housewife. I'm the housewife that's not on a show, you know, but that's okay. I'm happy to see all the panel members and Black Titanic didn't wake me up, nor did my husband wake me up, but that's okay. Um, And I want to say hi to Linda Gamble, Brother Lee, Cecilia too, ADR, Linda, everybody trending at some point. Hi guys, I'm just happy to be here, and I'm trying to eat at the same time because you know when your husband don't wake you up, he's giving you your food late.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm trying to eat. He gave me all my little food later. See here, here's my egg. I got my bread. I got everything here.
Okay, Pinky.
Thank you.
Okay, let me read what Arletta joined. Good point, Arletta. Arletta said, "Greetings, Black Titanic panel and all. May I say I don't understand how she can be dressed like that around those men." Talking about Tisha looking like that. I didn't either because you could see everything.
But
It looks like
she
she's
wants
walking
the
on the street.
attention. You
Y'all,
know, we
she looked nasty. Y'all know
She
that?
did.
I'm just gonna
right.
put
Yes.
it like
She
that. She
wants
looked nasty
yeah, but
on
she wants the
this.
attention. Because remember in
Yeah.
Vegas when Marceau was like, "You're not going to be walking around them like that. We have a single man."
Right.
Yep. Yep.
Mm-mm. She looked like
She
she's walking, getting ready to go down the streets or something.
she
Huh?
She
wants
looked,
the she
looked
wants
like
the
she was
attention.
stinking too.
She wants the
Yeah, she
attention that
probably
she
was
sees
that.
Mel get when Mel walks in the room,
Oh
but
yeah.
she is mistaken. Mel's attention comes from an internal
Hmm.
poise, and Mel has class,
Yes.
and Tisha is putting out a representation of A ZZ,
Yeah.
not CLASS, just ASS.
Mm-hmm.
And that's she'll take any attention
Slutness.
she can get. That's
She's just
negative
putting out some
attention.
slutness.
Get that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Letitia
She'll
came on the show dressed like a pilgrim, and I guess some of us are trying to understand how she went from being a pilgrim with all her dresses up to her collar, up to her neck. But then remember, Kimmy always talked about her walking through the hotels with her bikinis on. So she also probably saw Kimmy walking around when they went on vacation with her bikinis
Mm-hmm.
and her thong bikini. Remember, her and Kyra even talked about that because Kyra she felt
Mm-hmm.
was judging her for that.
and
Right.
as she should, especially around her young impressionable son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
young
Exactly.
man with
Every time,
hormones.
every time until this last um episode or whatever, she always has her breast out, and
Ooh, don't she?
I'm I am the I am the bonus mother of two boys, and they told me one day when we went to the beach, we didn't know you had all of that, because anytime I was around them, I kept it covered. But she never ever represents herself. She represents herself as someone still trying to get her man, but she
Yeah,
forgets sometimes that she's in front of his son.
But they say those things that you do to get them, you have to do to keep them. And she
Mm-hmm.
represents the opposite of everything that Cairo was. Like
Yep.
even Marceau said, he used to be a deacon at the church. He was a totally different person when he got with Kimmy. So she represents everything Cairo was not. We see
Yep.
Cairo, put together when she comes in. And you see Kimmy trying to show as little clothes as she can. And
Yep.
even
Yeah.
if you look at the changes of her hairstyle, you look at those first seasons of her,
Yeah.
her hair looked very old. Then she started trying to keep up and make herself look younger. And that's why she has herself listed, if you Google her age, as 30 something years old, like she younger than me.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
I saw that as
Melanie is
well.
younger
Yep.
than all of them. So I don't
Yeah.
know what she's fronting about.
You wear your age as a badge of honor.
Yeah. But
Everybody
remember,
doesn't get to be that age.
she never told her age.
Yep.
But how can she be 35 and have a son almost as old as around her
Correct.
own age? So
Yep.
the
How about
lies
that?
they tell, but Melanie is the youngest one out of the bunch. Yeah.
So y'all remember when Melody had invited, when I started looking at her side eye was when Melody had invited them to her home and she had them massages in the spa and they started attacking her, telling her she acting bougie. She didn't.
Bougie. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
That
that's why I always
that
say the beginning, because that was episode number 3. The first
Yeah.
episode was just them introducing themselves as
Mm,
all of the collective. And that was the beginning. That was episode number 3. And that's why I can't understand when people thought Kimmy was nice. Kimmy didn't even introduce herself as a nurse. Let's just be real. Kimmy said that she was in that profession because that's what Maurice required of her, in my opinion.
and you know what? Destiny did say, "Well, we don't know anything about Kimmy," and that's the truth. Kimmy have escaped. Nobody don't know anything about Kimmy.
Right.
It was until one interview when was it, about a month ago or 2 months ago, when she said that she went through a bad breakup, similar to what
Yep.
Mel went through, and nobody knew that. She act like she don't even understand what Mel going through. I
never.
don't feel. Every time I look at, oh, he's a good man.
Well,
She act like she be drooling over him.
but you have to understand that. So Martel is 100% um narcissist, and the power of a narcissist is the facade that they show to the world. So I married a narcissist, and before he married me so quickly, too quickly, and I thought before I married him that he was the nicest guy in the world, like Kimmy does. And every time we would go somewhere, everyone would say, "Oh, girl, you got a good guy. Oh, he's this, he's that. Oh, you are so blessed. You are so lucky." And then I had to say, why does everyone think you're so nice but me? Because the person that he started showing me the very first week was not the person I married. I would pick up his arms and under his shirt, look under his shirt and stuff. He's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm looking for um evidence of the body snatcher because someone took my best friend and I don't know who you are." And in 10 days I was like, I want a divorce because I changed my mind because we were just better friends, because they change just like that. The person that the world sees in Martel is a skill that narcissists have, but they can't hide it in the house. They can't, like the book, Act Like a Man. You cannot hide your real self for 90 days. That's why when you go to a job, they will not give you medical benefits for 90 days because they put you on probation. They want to see the real you.
It's
And
just,
that's why,
yeah.
ladies, if you're listening, you should never have sex with a man. Don't give them your benefits before 90 days because on the 89th and the 87th and the 85th day, you're going to start to see somebody that you do not know, that you do not want, and you will regret it because on day 200, you're going to be trying to get back that love bombing that he did in the beginning to get you, but it's gone. He can no longer hide his real self. And we
Yeah.
spend as women years trying to get back to the way it was, and it'll never go back. It'll never go back.
We have to take our time. You know, Pinky and I, we're old school. We have to take our time. And it does seem that women do tend to rush into relationships and they look at the exterior because it's kind of like someone looks at a person and they say, oh, he's a nice person. See, I don't make that statement because
Mm-mm.
I say to women, he seems, that key word. I'll even say about their managers, directors, they seem like a nice person, but I
Yep.
don't have to work for them. Everyone could seem nice, but it does take, I don't believe anything Steve Harvey says because that man been married so many times and you know all his mistresses and relationships. He wasn't qualified to tell any of us what
I
to do with
know.
relationships.
Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
thank
But
you,
We
what
have to
Sam.
you
Yes.
know what? All
okay, we
Steve
have to take our
all
time as women and we have to sit back. Judge Toller said it back. She says you sit them and you watch. And
well,
you do this and you watch. And you
I
do
had a
that.
Christian marriage, and I didn't sleep with my husband before marriage, but that was part of, I guess, his rush, but also he knew that the real him would come
How
out.
long was it
So I
that you
met
knew each
him
other?
and then I disappeared. And when I came back, he love bombed me. Then he said, I want to go meet your father. He went and met my father. Then he said, it's time for you to go home and meet my mother. He took me to his church. I took him to my church. And there were signs. One was, he said, I'm not a Christian like you are. And I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if it was because my church was vibrant and loud and the Holy Ghost was present. Then he said, let's elope. And that was the biggest mistake that I
So
made.
how long was it that you know him? Knew him?
Well, so this is when I say I disappeared. I want to say it was 2 years, but we only courted for about 90 days, 100
Okay.
days before he asked me to marry him. I was being courted by several people, and he rushed that elopement once I came back into his life and we started courting, which means, introducing you to your friends, your parents, your church. I never dated him after dark. Um, we did things like we went jet skiing, we went snowmobiling, we went and took flight lessons, but we never spent time in the house together because I was, not going to have sex before marriage. Not that I had never had sex before, but as a born again Christian, I was not going to go down that road. And the mistake I made with him was I fell into his rapid
Yeah.
love bombing.
Yeah.
And
Well, rapid movement. Any
yep,
guy that is trying to move with us too fast. See, for
yep,
me, that's a turnoff,
and
honestly.
yep,
When a guy tries to date me fast, I at that point that red flag comes up because there's something I don't even know if he has credit or credit.
yep.
I don't know what his living. I don't know anything.
Well,
I just it takes time for us and we have to date in the same state and we have to allow that time. And Pinky, as long as you've been married, you know you could not know him even living with him, so you definitely have to
Yeah.
take the time. You learn something new every day,
Yeah.
so you
You do.
definitely have. I married my first, never had a physical relationship, high school sweetheart, and we knew each other since we were 17.
are you
But
still with him?
no, we're not together anymore because we got married too young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was too young. And
Well,
then
we got
plus,
married too fast.
yeah, that was too young. But I definitely knew him, and I definitely recommend us ladies not think too fast that because they're moving that fast, that
Mhm.
is not cute. That is
Pump
not
your brakes.
sexy.
Yep.
They are moving fast for a reason. Are they looking for a place to stay?
Yeah.
What is the motive? Do they have? How is their credit? What is their? How do they? How are
Yep.
they with money?
Yep. That's what I was
You don't
telling my
want to
niece
find out.
yesterday. I said, don't let anybody rush you into this marriage because she's getting married in 100 days. And she said she started bringing up fights and she's like, and we need work on budgeting. And I said, You have to go through marriage counseling, and don't let anybody rush you into this marriage, because you're going to start seeing things that you're going to wish that you slowed down and corrected, because once you marry someone, you cannot get that man into counseling later if he's not the type of person to go into counseling. You go into counseling at first and let the church determine if they're willing to marry you, if you two are on the same page, if you're going down the same road, if you have the same expectations. I did not know that he did not want me to work. And when I brought my paycheck home and I put it on the table for him to deposit it, he changed because I made 2 or 3 times as much as him. And he wanted me to quit my job. And like a dummy, I did. But 30 days later, I went back to work and I just put my foot down. I want a divorce because my parents didn't put me through college to be here to cook for you. I told them I married you because you cooked every day.
Well, y'all know that sound like what Tisha got all them degrees.
Right, exactly.
Well, now we found out it was a lie. She was not able ever to be a stay-at-home mom, y'all. But when she came on, that's what she said.
That's what she said when she had her little pilgrim dresses on.
Let me explain something to you. If you get a master's degree, right? Let's say that you acquire 30 credits in a topic. There may be another master's degree that requires another 30 credits, and you have 26 of those credits. You only have to take 2 classes to get that other master's degree, or maybe 3. You might have to take 3 classes in a particular topic to complete that other master's degree in that other topic. So she just is using the same credits over and over again and adding maybe 3 classes, maybe 4 classes to satisfy the other master's degree.
Okay, y'all, let me hear from Tawana Hill. You still there, Tawana?
Sorry, Tawana.
Hey, Tawana. Tawana went to sleep on us.
Hello. Hey, I'm back, y'all.
Hey, pretty lady.
Yeah, well, I want to hear from you. You're quiet over there.
Okay. Sorry about that. I was on a call.
Oh, okay.
What was the topic again?
Well, whatever you want to speak on, long as it's about the show.
Okay. Well, my topic is about like Letitia. Letitia, she could be a really good person, but you got to deprogram the narcissism she had in her life from early on with Wanda. And I don't know anything about the grandmother, but I feel that she has some negative traits in there somewhere too. Because Wanda had to learn it from somewhere.
Yes, she has to learn it from somewhere.
And
And she
then she
married
ended up
Marceau to
marrying
escape them.
somebody like Marceau, who is just as bad, if not worse, than Wanda.
Right.
Yeah, because Marceau was already got one family member pregnant. So what is the other family member doing getting? What is Letitia doing getting pregnant by him too?
Yes, I heard it was 2 cousins that Marceau dated, and yeah, it was 2 cousins that Marceau dated, and they both got children by him. And Tisha was the side chick.
Right. That is true.
So what do you think?
And I have a saying for a family like that who need enemies.
I have a question for you. So what do you think about the fact that Tisha knew for 3 years that that someone who she claimed was her friend was had a girlfriend that she said on TV, her exact words, he was in love with?
I look at it like this. Tisha is pretty much like she's a deflector, so she's drawing off her own experiences. But think about it. Marceau was in love with one of her cousins, was one of her cousins' man, right? And who went and in that scenario, who won the man in the end? Tisha, the side chick.
See, I saw that in the blogs, but I never saw it as proven to be, and they always and Kiki even they always kind of, so I just saw that as hearsay.
But do you
I'm
know
gonna
why
tell
he
you the
married her?
truth. I don't believe nothing Kiki has to say. After
Yeah.
their last year reunion, I don't believe a thing Kiki got to say.
Well, what she's
Kiki
about to
always
do is
started
talk about
to
him
talk, but she never finished.
Would
sleeping
you
with
say
her makeup artist.
Pinky? I'm sorry.
Kiki is always, I'm gonna, but she never, and Marcel, okay, okay, and then she never finished. So it's like, oh my God, you're starting something, you never finish it, so you don't know what to go on. And
Marcel
Yes,
is
you
she never
dating
do.
finished
her
up.
makeup artist. Marcel had a sexual relationship with her makeup artist.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
You have your alleged badge
That's
on it,
what's getting ready,
allegedly.
allegedly. That's what's
Everything in our
allegedly coming
opinion.
out in the next
I
season.
heard the video from the ex-boyfriend. I
Yeah.
believe that video. I
Right.
mean, on recording. I believe that man. That man sounded
Yeah,
hurt.
now that I believe.
Right.
That I believe. That piece I believe. The
And
other,
remember,
yeah, that I believe.
So
remember
And the
when,
description that man gave, oh, it's some truth there.
Yep. Yeah,
mhm,
that
yeah,
'cause-
yeah, he's just confirming what everybody been suspecting and what Kiki is afraid to bring out. Because at their one the first time doing a cooking test or something for the whole family, they was all together in this kitchen, and one was feeding everybody that nasty food that she cooked. At that big round table, Keisha, Maurice, and her husband, and her and her cousin all was sitting at that table. And Maurice had to shut her up quick until her husband stepped up. You know,
hmm
because she was trying to say that he was fooling around, and
Yep.
everybody was waiting on him. And Maurice doing this here. Don't trying to shut her down quick. You know, when he hears somebody trying to say something that's going to be related to him or exposing him, he start over talking you.
Why they don't want her on the show?
Right.
yeah.
Yep.
And Marcel married Keisha because Keisha had that apartment building,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then he tricked her into selling it
Mm-hmm.
for the money out of it.
See, I
He
don't
can't.
believe that. I don't believe Tisha had an apartment. Like what they were
It
trying to make
it could
us
have just been
think.
two houses. It could have been like a 2 or 4
A
family house.
duplex.
Tisha
Yeah,
was in
duplex.
school. Tisha did not have it going on like they said on this show. We
No.
know that she was a struggling student. She did not have it going on like that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but
at the
if
start
she
of the show, she was a housewife, won't she?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's,
but if she got a grant, remember, if as a female business owner, if she got a grant, you can buy a 2 and 4 family house
Oh, I
from
know
an
what we could
auction
do.
for like
I'm
right.
eight
just
thousand
saying
But
that
dollars.
Keisha didn't have that mindset.
Tisha
Keisha
does
wasn't
not,
educated
yeah,
enough in
that's
that.
that blow up for the show. And
Right.
people are repeating those narratives about she did not, that was a lie. The man was working at the movie theater selling Raisinets and popcorn.
No, that's
Right.
not what he said.
Amen, sister.
Right. They didn't have nothing.
And was it just me, or
Okay.
as a housewife, why was Tisha's house always so cluttered and
Right.
nasty?
I'm telling,
She
that was
was
not,
nasty like a mama. Both of them are just one is
Oh
nasty.
yeah,
And if
cause I
you
seen
ever
that
look at
live Wanda
Monica's
did.
inside, it's the same way.
yeah,
When
I,
Wanda be doing her lives and
right.
stuff, and then when she gets up, when
Like
people are
mother,
saying
like daughter.
Tisha
Yes,
and Mark,
she's
Lord.
nasty.
they're
Did
failing
y'all
at
see the one
business.
where she was cooking it? I guess it's supposed to be a rib, but it looked like a deer rib on the grill, and it was something on the ground that looked like a pair of old dirty
Oh
drawers or
yeah, like
something.
some underwear.
Oh my God! I was like, "What in the world going on here?" And see, I'm a Marine Corps brat as well, so I live everywhere all over the world, including certain areas overseas.
Uh-huh.
And I knew they said certain areas, certain people were nasty,
Right.
but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't believe it until
Right.
when we got
You saw
stationed
it. Right.
in
You saw it.
Louisiana. And I was like, oh my God, it's some in that ninth ward. They
Right.
got some nasty
Oh, they
mofos
talked
over
about
there,
that
but
ninth
Wanda got
ward.
them beat.
Yeah.
Are y'all
Mm-hmm.
talking about in Houston?
No,
Uh,
Louisiana.
New
I'm
Orleans.
talking about New
Oh,
Orleans.
Because they
yeah.
talked about that during Hurricane Katrina. Because think about it, they never even brought up this so-called apartment building that she owned until about the third season. So they never brought it up, and everyone was like, wait a minute, where'd that come from suddenly? She was
Oh
at the
yeah, I
table,
know they mentioned Infinity Properties, but I went online to look it up and could never find
and
it.
you can't find
Right, you
nothing.
can't find it.
And Black
Because
Titanic
Melanie,
already showed us
yeah.
the signs.
Well, you got to
Yeah.
remember, Melanie is the one that gave them everything that they got.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if she had an apartment complex and you broke as ducks, wouldn't
Yeah,
you be trying to sell that or live in it? They didn't have a place to live. So if you
correct.
didn't
We
have a
can
place to
live,
live,
laugh, and love.
why would you be taking a handout from somebody when you got a place to live?
Right.
And what,
And
or if you got an
it's
apartment,
so
why
many
don't you live in
questions
one
with
and
those
make that
Scots
investment?
though.
Okay, so let me
It's
see if I
so
can
many
help with that.
questions.
If you go to a city auction, right,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We
and
know
you
how it's done. We're
and
just
you
saying
buy an
that's not
old
what
beat
they
up
did.
house and you get it in auction for like $5,000 or $3,000, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that it's viable that you can live in it, but you still own it. Now you
Right.
can flip it for $30,000
Right.
because he does have contractor knowledge a little bit. And the reason they're failing is because they have knowledge without understanding. They get in all this education like book smarts, but they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
They just know what the
You
Yeah,
book
got
we
the
says.
know it can
knowledge
be done.
that a criminal would have.
We're just saying that their story was a
That
lie.
scammer.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
they are
some
liars.
scammers.
Yep. Yep.
Because
Okay,
yeah,
what do y'all think about this? Y'all saw where I just put out all of their documents and their suit. The
Yeah.
young lady put up a post, reality, I don't remember, whatever. Anyway, she's a content creator, said that Marceau them got 100%. They got recognized for
oh
having
yeah, yeah,
100% that they pay their employees. And
right,
so now they qualify for a grant.
correct.
But they have expanded their business in Mississippi. So that's where they're trying to get a grant
Yeah,
for their business for
right.
scope.
It
So
doesn't mean anything.
but
I,
how did
I
that
can sit here. I can sit here on my couch right now and apply for a business license in Mississippi, and it will cost me $89.99. And if it's on sale, that's $49.98. A business license in another state. I am a insurance broker. Am I wealthy? No. Do I make a lot of money? No. Could I? Yes. Do I have a license in multiple states? Yes. I could get a license in Alabama while we're talking. All I got to do is go in, punch in Alabama, pay the fee of whatever
Right. And
Alabama
take the
asks me.
right and take the required course.
No, I already
No,
take
you
the
don't have to
once
take
you
the
have the course.
course as long as you got it in your state.
Once you're in good standing in your state. I have a license in Maryland. If I meet somebody in Maryland,
You just
while I'm
go on the
talking to
line
them,
and just
I can
apply
become
for
licensed in Maryland.
it.
So them having all these licenses could
hold
broke.
on. Pinky, they say you got a real bad echo.
Oh, I'm on high ceilings, hard floors.
Open your closet door. That
My
might
house
change it.
echoes no matter what I'm at.
Why you don't wear your headphones? That takes the echoes out.
I'm gonna look
Okay,
at
anyway, go ahead on, y'all. Go ahead on. Keep
They
talking.
are addicted to the announcement, but they're not doing the work. The fact
Yeah,
that I
they're not
have
doing the work. Right.
Exactly.
yep, they're addicted to they are knowledge without understanding, and that's why they're failing. They don't have Mel has been on the ground picking up toilets, cleaning sinks, taking out sinks. She has hands-on experience.
Right. They're frauds because they
Yes.
wouldn't have needed they wouldn't have needed Melody and Martell to start them a business if they had all this business know-how and if
Yep.
Tisha had it going on like that. They were
Yep.
frauds. They came on the show
Mm-hmm.
saying they were millionaires. And 2 years before, when you Google him, it said he worked at the movie theater selling
yeah.
Yeah.
popcorn and raisinets and ices and Pepsi Colas, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
Welcome, Live, Laugh, and Love.
hey,
Welcome,
live,
welcome.
laugh, love.
And
They
He looked
welcome
like he
all
looked like
the
a manager.
content
He looked
creators.
like a
I was
manager.
Welcome.
wondering, do they have more than one movie theater in Huntsville? Because, like, if he had all this experience in a movie theater, I mean, I'm originally from the city. You could just get a job at another movie theater. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that is
right.
true.
He's a
No,
fraud. So then the show opportunity, I think, came up. So when the show opportunity came up, you don't want to get a job at a movie theater because you're trying to sell people on the concept that you're a millionaire, and you know that people are gonna believe it.
Can I
Oh, and
say
his
something
worth
for a moment?
17 million. He worth 17 million.
Can I say something? Gwen H says I need a mic that would keep the echo. Gwen, no matter what I do in my house, I'm going to have an echo. I have hard floors, if not hard floors, carpeting floors. It's very wide, high ceilings. It's going to echo no matter what I do.
Pinky,
And
I
Yeah.
sent you the
I
information.
just don't use my mics because I get a worse echo. So I know what I'm doing. Thank you, Miss Gwen.
I hear you, Shirley Ann.
Shirley Ann
Sorry
said,
about your
I found
husband.
out.
Oh, I'm so sorry you went through that, Shirley Ann.
Hold it,
Lord
y'all.
knows,
Let me read
honey.
this. Hold it. Let me read it. Shirley Ann said, I found out later my ex-husband was not a man of God. His spending finances was horrible and he was not family oriented.
I'm so
Uh,
sorry.
he's
And
his ex-sister-in-law is another Kimmy. He's a good guy.
Mm.
The lies, and the lies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shirley Ann been saying some truth in here. But you know, what do we the word good guy? When Kimmy says he's a good guy, she only uses one example, and that's the one thing she can't get what's it say, Maurice to help her with anything. So since she can't
Hold
get
on, hold
Michael
on,
Man,
hold on. I think she's right. Y'all, we need to speak one at a time because they can't understand the conversation. Please allow that person to get finished before you start your conversation. Thank y'all. Go ahead on, Trent. Go ahead on.
she uses that same example. He helped me. If he sees me, he helps me with a bag. That's the only example she gives because Maurice doesn't help her with anything.
Mm.
So she thinks that's a good guy. Okay.
Again, that's his superpower. That's the superpower of a narcissist.
Right.
It's the facade that they show the world. He shows the world this nice, calm guy. But shame on Kimmy because she has seen Martel explode
Mm-hmm.
not once, not twice, but multiple times.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she continues to spew that misconception. And you know what I realized? A lot of people like Martel because a lot of people aren't on YouTube and on social media. Like Martel does what narcissists, like how he says Mel cheated. There are so many people in this world who think that Mel cheated. There are so
Yeah.
many people in this world who believe that Mel lost in court because Martel says so many mistruths that nobody comes back and combats on television. We do it on the tube, but half of America, 90% of America doesn't really hear the true facts. They don't even know
Mm-hmm.
about how horrible AC is. They've never seen the baby. They never all they know is what they see on the show. And like in the last episode, he still talked to her brother. He said to the brother, "Thank you for your support." And the brother said, "What support?" Because the brother, like, I don't freaking support your butt. But
Brother can't stand him.
the world doesn't know why he said, we just want what's best for the kids. He don't want what's best for his kids because he would not be publicly humiliating those children and breaking up their home and hurting their mother the way he does if he cared about those kids. But he gets on TV and he goes, "We just want to co-parent peacefully." No, you don't. Or you would not be trying to take that woman's children from her so that you can get control of little sugar mama's finances and get child support from Mel. That's all he wants. He's looking for a paycheck. He wants to be a stay-at-home dad because he don't want to work. In the second episode, he said, "Well, you could take that pretty little suit off, Mel, and we could get back out in the field." She said, "I'm here for it." He said, "I'm not."
He sure did. He said that quick.
Yeah.
Hold on. Cheryl Howard. Welcome, Cheryl Howard.
Hi,
Y'all welcome
Cheryl.
Cheryl Howard.
Hi, good morning,
Hello,
ladies.
Welcome,
Cheryl.
Good
Cheryl.
morning.
Welcome,
Like I
Cheryl the
said, good
Pearl.
morning. Hello, hi.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Good. Hi,
Hi.
Cheryl
Fine,
Yeah,
Pearl.
Cheryl.
good.
Good. Oh, well, listen. Did y'all see the so-called mini biography that Martel did?
Yes,
Oh, I seen that joke.
I
I
don't know
saw
what he
it.
think he trying to do. Cause ain't
What
nobody.
was it?
I don't care. I don't care.
He trying to make us think he could fly.
I'm like, bro, you is not even R.
Right.
Kelly. You can't fly nowhere.
What did he do?
No, there's a mini biography he made about his life and where he was raised up and how
Yeah,
break leaves to make money and how he was bullied. I,
Right.
yeah,
I think
I saw it.
it's all a distraction.
Oh
But
yeah.
so we ain't gonna forget about
Yeah,
that revenge P. So
right.
Show ain't.
you
He's
can
trying. He's trying to say the reason that he's the way he is now, the blow ups and the things that he's been going through and the way he's been treating people, it's all because of his upbringing and his grandmother.
Yeah, he
He's
wants people to feel sorry for
well,
him.
I knew he
sorry
was
for
gonna do that because a lot of times Martel sits back and listens to the content creators and listens to the bloggers when they're saying where he was raised up at and how he was
him.
bullied. Now he's trying to use that to
What's
draw sympathy. No, it's not
Someone has
gonna work.
probably
I
told
don't
him
care.
that, consulted
But
with him and told him to do that, because Martell, he that's where he actually goes wrong. It's because he doesn't listen to everything the content creators say. So he'll listen to part of it. Because even if you notice, if you listen to Queen Sheba's interview, he even said then he was saying, well, did she mention her name this many times? And he's just going based on what someone said to him, because he doesn't have the attention span to listen to content creators like that. He
when
lacks,
he
emotional
brought Melinda
intelligence.
up.
He got his flying monkeys listening to the
Correct.
And
So
YouTubers
he
and
listens.
stuff.
He listens. Trust me,
so
he listens. Because I've heard, in my opinion, allegedly, he has, my opinion, he has crept up in a couple of content creators. Of course, as an alias name, but he's
yeah,
crept
Okay.
up
he's
in a lot of
doing that, but
content
I'm saying
creators.
he doesn't listen
I
entirely
mean, for he
because
don't listen. No, he don't listen, but he listens to the parts where maybe
Hmm.
he can get sympathy.
like
This is I'm
Marceau used to listen entire. That's why he used to get into it with so many people, because he would study what they said. Maurice. That's why at the beginning, do you all remember Black Titanic? I know you reported on this. Do you remember when Maurice was trying to get the content creators fighting with each other?
Yeah,
Oh
the
God,
guy.
yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they listen, they study, they analyze.
Right.
He
but
doesn't
that's
have the emotional intelligence, the
yeah.
common sense, or nothing else. He'll just creep in the bushes every now and then. That's why he thought that Queen Sheba and Melly were friends. If he had ever listened to her, he would have known that. That's why he says stuff that he just doesn't know what he's talking about, and it comes across in what he says. And this is the thing, is they have not planned to leave the show, because most of the people in the world don't even know who
Well,
they are.
well, Martel, he usually asks is anybody's Melody's friend, so he can start going on a smear campaign against her and start trying to turn the friend against Melody,
Well,
which is
this
why
was
he
the end
asked
of
her
the
that.
interview. Remember, he
Right?
said, "Oh, I
I
thought
know,
y'all were friends." So the
I
whole
know.
Yep,
the
that's
whole
the
time,
reason he did the interview with Queen Sheba. He
yeah,
thought they were
he
friends.
thought
Okay,
they were
Right.
one at a
friends. So
time. Y'all not y'all. Please talk one at a time now. Okay, go
yeah,
on.
And I can go by what Melody was saying when she said that he go around a lot of her friends and try to go on a smear campaign to turn a lot of her
Mm-hmm.
friends against her.
right.
Yep.
So that's mainly why he
But
do
that's
what he do.
narcissism. That's what they do. They create false narratives. Like everybody, it was the joke was the people at my wedding wanted their gifts back because I left so quickly. But so my ex-husband told me that our relationship ended because I said something about his father. That was no further from the truth, but I realized you probably told that lie to justify our breakup so many times that you thought I was going to believe it. You said that so many times in so many years that you forgot who you're talking to. I never met your father. Number one, he passed away when you were a child. But why would I say anything about your father? But that was the smear campaign so that everybody um
Pity
could
him.
accept why our relationship was over. Our relationship was over because you showed me your true colors the first week.
Yeah.
The
But
first week. And I'm sorry, my mother raised 5 children with she from my father because she told me that um he threatened, like, he acted like he was going to slap her. So what I learned from my mother was, you don't take anything. Like, you become aggressive when they step wrong. You put your foot down the first time, because if you don't put your foot down the first time, they're going to step on you the next time. And once I saw signs of aggression from him in the first week against his ex, I realized, no, it wouldn't get what we're going through. If we don't go to counseling, it's not going to get better. You're not open to it. I want a divorce. And you have to stand up for yourself. Now, can you get back together like Nene did? Yeah, but you got to show people that you're serious. And Mel made the mistake when she stepped to coleslaw the first time. She should have whooped that butt the first time. If she didn't want to whoop it, she should have paid somebody to whoop it, because she allowed Ariane to act foolish. And with Martel, she should have packed that house up while he was off at Ariane's and taken everything and left his underwear for him, for his future underwear business. And she should have took those kids and packed up and left.
I
And
think
when she
she
didn't,
done it, but she come back. That's
Right.
why
yeah,
he
Okay.
yeah,
and
that's
see,
why
I remember,
he feels like she was gonna come back. He's still
Correct.
seeing separated. He's still in his
yeah,
head thinking that this
yeah,
woman is coming back. But let me
delusional.
read
Yeah.
what Gigi said. Gigi said, "Don't forget that idiot hotel turned down the 15% male offer his ignorant behind.
Hmm.
He could have been still making money off of her."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he could have.
And that's my
Yeah.
favorite part, Gigi. I love watching that. I watch that over
I
and
like that
over and
too.
over. And the
I missed
reason,
that part.
and also, y'all remember before Coleslaw knew what was gonna happen, she told me, I was the one gave him that advice. Do y'all remember that?
Right.
Yeah.
She sure
Came
did.
on and
Mm-hmm.
she gave him that advice, and when he did it, oh man, that was the biggest mistake he ever made.
You right, Black Titanic, and
And
Slow Slaw can't even give her old sauerkraut self no advice to do anything. And she
for one thing, for one thing,
About
Melody.
the
I'm sorry.
attacking Melody on coming to Coleslaw house. Melody probably
Mhm.
would have put her hands on her, but the girl never opened the door.
right, exactly.
The
Yeah,
Right.
girl
she
was
was
scared.
scary.
Right.
She a
She said that
Facebook and YouTube
Coleslaw said she
gangster.
jumped on Martel instead because Martel was in the house.
Right.
She was scared hiding in the closet.
I don't believe nothing she
Sure
says.
was. And the way I heard it on the Huntsville streets, like I said, I'm a military brat, so I got friends everywhere.
Mhm.
And I had friends that lived in the neighborhood Coleslaw was living in at that time. And he
Mm.
said that Mel whooped Martell real good. And Coleslaw was like, I don't want none of that smoke.
Mhm.
I
And,
would have grabbed
and
that pony.
Martell said on the show that Mel is a thug.
Yep, I would have grabbed that ponytail until it was gone. I would have dragged her up and down them Huntsville streets.
But see, that's what Ariane wants, so she
Yeah,
could
she
turn
not
around
worth it.
so she could
Right.
turn
I
around and
know.
say, so she could turn around and sue Melody. Um,
I sent
that's
the
her whole
message.
plan. That's her whole plan.
Yeah.
I sent a message to Mel to let me know when to come down, because I had to run up on her even though I'm in my late 50s. But guys, listen.
Okay, let Cheryl finish that
I know
Look,
thought.
I
that's
got
right.
one more can of whoop ass left in me.
Yeah, just let Cheryl finish that thought.
Yes.
Cheryl, what were you saying, Cheryl?
No, I was saying that oh, I lost my thought.
Honey.
My thing is, listen. My thing is this. This is what Ariane wants Melody to do. She has a
Oh,
lot
you're
to lose.
you're right.
Put your hands on the girl, and then now she wants to sue Melody. She want what Melody has anyway. She
Right.
wants
I
her
agree.
whole life
I agree.
and all her money. So Melody did the right thing. You don't let
You
somebody low class and low level bring you out of character, and you lose everything, while she
That's
sits back
true.
and wants to sue you for whatever money she tried to sue
no,
her
I
for.
agree.
So it's
You're
not really worth it from Melody. She did pull up on her. The girl is all bark and no bite.
No,
Right.
you're right, Cheryl.
Amen.
You don't. You hire somebody. No, I'm joking. I'm from the North.
No,
I'm
don't
sorry.
hire nobody. You be like Tim Norman. Don't
No,
go
you
there.
just go down there. You just go there with the family. Let them get out of pocket with it.
Hey, guys, let me,
You be
if I
like
can
Tim
say
Norman
something.
for sweetie pies. We can't go around doing that now, people.
I know. No, I'm
No, we
just talking
can't
about.
do that.
I'm just talking about putting a whooping on them. That's it. But listen, I want to say something. Okay, so I studied psychology and worked in counseling for many, many years, mostly with children in broken homes and stuff. What I believe and why Martel is going through these giving out these bios is that his counseling is giving him a heightened awareness of really what his pain is, because Martel is a broken man. He was raised broken, and the counselor is making him face it. But and so he's bleeding right now. All the hurt and pain that he has as a child is he's spewing it, but he's not to the point to be able to verbalize it. He doesn't have the emotional intelligence to verbalize it, which he shouldn't, but he's feeling it. And he keeps trying to tell people, this is what, I'm hurt. Really what he's saying is, I'm hurt and I'm broken.
He's
And
broke.
yup.
Mm.
And you remember this meeting that they had with the comeback group, right? And he was late and Mel started the meeting without him. That he was already emasculated because he could not get that business license and Mel had it. And Mel was getting all of those speaking and great engagements and the magazines and all that stuff, but it was really because of Mel.
Right.
But Mel started the meeting without him, and it was a visual reminder to him that Mel was really the one in charge, and he just felt further emasculated. And he always talks about how Ariane respects him. That's because Ariane doesn't know the real him. She doesn't know that he will never, ever get a Class A builder's license. Why? Number one, he doesn't have the financial capability. You have to show financial responsibility. That's not him. And number two, he has a criminal record. And you cannot get a Class A builder's license if you have theft in your record.
Right.
The reason that Marcel only has a Class C license is because they don't have the finances. You have to have a net worth in order to get a Class A builder's license. Him going to Mississippi, he don't build houses. He doesn't work on infrastructure. So him going over and bidding on those jobs in Mississippi, he don't have an engineer. The guy he hired is gone again because he didn't want to pay that guy. So he does not have the structure in his business to even be successful in Mississippi on bids.
Well, no one wants to work with him. He doesn't have he doesn't have the reputation, and everything that they do is based on reputation. He doesn't have the reputation. The Scotts don't have the reputation. Even when you Google their business, and then the bloggers have exposed, the requirements, all the licensing. You have a lot of people who have spouses that are builders and people in that area, and so they know that they're frauds. And and honestly, I don't think he's bleeding. I think that it was court ordered. That's the only reason he went. And he only went because it was the last, he kept putting it off and he kept putting it off. And the judge kept giving him, Melia said that, the judge kept giving him chance after chance after chance. And so then he finally went. He's just trying to get people to feel sorry for him. And there are no tears here with me. I don't fall for it, because even he tried to make it sound like the community looked one way, like it was the projects. And Black Titanic had already exposed and done a video on that it was not really the projects where he lived. Sure, he may have.
It was a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, but
Right.
I saw his biography. I mean, I thought that when he showed it, I thought it was a project too, a literal
Yeah, that's how
project,
he
but it wasn't.
described it. And that's why Black Titanic refuted that. So that's why I say all of that is smoke screen. Like Pinky said, it's smoke screen.
Okay,
Well,
mirrors.
this is what, no, I still am gonna stand on my thing. If you open an old wound, you bleed.
Right.
And I think his counseling is opening up those old wounds.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take a child, like, okay, so my son, I I got my son in court. I didn't have him. I became his guardian. And I took him to someplace else. So if you thinking that I could turn him into something else, if you have a Japanese bush and you plant it in Montana, it is still a Japanese bush.
Yeah.
And my son, I brought him to Virginia thinking that this environment was going um to have this great impact on his life. And it did. It did. But the day he turned 18, 19, 20, 18, I guess, he hopped on that bus and he went right back. I was told that the street he was raised on was the most dangerous street in the state of New Jersey. People used to pull up. There were cars lined up. And I was like, and they were like Spanish people. I mean, not Spanish, like Chinese people in Mercedes. I said, what are they doing here? He's like, Ma, I did not know they were buying food stamps for their restaurants. They were buying drugs. So even though he was in foster care early on, and I wasn't his foster parent, they tried to make me his foster parent. I was like, he don't need a foster parent. He needs a parent. I don't want your money. I want my son out of that place where you got him so drugged up that he looks like a zombie. Because his mother said, can you watch him until I move? And she moved and she never came back for him. She didn't want him. But anyway, my point is, Martel has open wounds now, and he has to go through the process to let them heal. And it's going to take a big man to sit there through the pain and let him heal. And that's why I say he's bleeding. But instead, what he's doing is he's coming to us like, look, I'm bleeding. You know, he's showing us the wounds. But that's not the work. That's not maturity. He just needs to kind of disappear and grow and reinvent himself and come back stronger. And he just needs to admit, you are not going to get a builder's license. When he said, I want a woman who makes $45,000, that's because that's what he needs to get a Class A builder's license. Ariane that's why he's like, are you selling any clothes? He wants her to make that business successful, thinking that she could get the Class A builder's license for him. He thought that the other lady was going to get it for him.
Belinda?
I forget her name.
Is it Belinda?
Belinda, yep. He thought she was going to get it for him. And he simply said, I want a woman who makes $45,000.
That's the problem with Martel now. The problem with Martel is Martel want to live off the back of others. And
he doesn't understand.
And women on top of that. And
40,
and that's not how it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But you got to look at right now, Martel is so desperate. He's broken.
Yep.
He's trying everything he can. And like Pretty Brown Eyes said, he needs a storyline.
Correct.
That's a cowboy girl at the party comes in.
Okay, hold on. Tawanda Hill, let me hear from you. You just so quiet. Are you there?
Tawanda can't get in, whole thing.
Tawanda.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here, honey.
Okay, I'm listening, y'all. I'm fixing me something to eat, but I'm listening. Go ahead on, Tawanda Hill. Go on. I hear you.
All right. My assessment of Martel, from looking at him from season 1 even through now, I always felt this, and correct me if I'm wrong, with my experience in healthcare and as of late mental health, I look at him as a fetal alcohol syndrome baby. Because think about it. He got the learning disabilities.
I concur.
He can't even pass open book tests. Done took it 7 times.
Yep.
And explosive anger.
Yes.
If that ain't a baby from a mother that drank the whole 9 months or a big chunk of it, I don't know what one is.
100%, Tawanda.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That is in the beginning, my heart kind of tugged on that a little bit because most of my career after, like, I'll say from age 25 to maybe 34 was in the hospitals working with babies that were born to other substance abuse disorders, and he has all the classic signs. They get irritated at the drop of a feather, and like when they're first born, you can't touch them because they're very sensitive to touch. But then when they get familiar with you, they kind of like latch on to you. You
Right.
can't you can't put them down.
Right.
So I kind of see him as a fetal alcohol syndrome
Yep.
baby. So I try not to go hard on him,
Mhm.
but his narcissism and sociopathic disorder makes it very, very difficult not to go in on him. Cause baby, I got jokes for days about Martell.
Right.
Woo,
Well,
child.
narcissism comes from childhood trauma and
Traumas
pain.
that was
Yep,
unhealed.
yep. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's that. So they go hand in foot, and you're correct. His face does represent that, and his behavior. So I agree with you 100%,
And the
900%.
same thing with his bed bug. I
Yeah,
mean, you look at her.
She represents him.
I agree.
I
Let
mean,
me
when
read.
you look
Let
at
me
them,
read
they
this,
look like
y'all.
they could be brother and sister.
Let me read
If
this,
you see
y'all.
the picture.
Miss Stewart said, "Good morning, everyone. When are these people going to realize that their action will tarnish the future of their children? Reputation is the brand of credibility. Yes,
Correct.
it will." And that's why y'all remember when Martell tried to sell that book and it was at the height of him dogging Melody out
Yep.
on TV. People
Mm-hmm.
by that book, they started, oh man, they didn't care nothing about him trying to sell a book for the children. They were like, ain't nobody gonna buy no book from you. You know, they were on him really bad.
And that wine.
When
Yeah, they
nobody
didn't
buys
buy nothing from him. That's why he at where he at today because they're not buying nothing from him.
it.
Because he's
Um,
being
Right.
exposed. He's tried
Even the fruit,
calendars. He's tried the books.
let me
He's
tell you
fruit
guys.
learning, pennies.
So,
The
so,
fitness
so
program.
right.
Martell
And
and
not,
Marcel, they both did what you call white label. So for $25,000, right? You get somebody to give you a flavor that you like that's
Go in
similar
there and
to
get you a
something you
plate
like,
and get some of
and
this that's
put your
hot, spicy.
and,
And
and
that,
put your label on it. So that's where black champagne came from,
yeah, we knew that.
$25,000. And then Martell's Aness, that's where it came from. He said, "Oh yeah, I like this wine." So he paid them $25,000 and they put his name on it. But you only get 128 bottles.
Yeah.
So that's why they're not making any money because Martell don't have any more bottles. He don't have any more. He only got 128. That's why he didn't bring them to the expo.
But no one wanted to
Merlin
buy him
dropped in.
anyway.
Huh?
No one wanted to buy him anyway. He does not
Merlin
have
dropped
that
them
type.
up.
You funny. Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
type of fan base.
And do Martell realize that there's a lot of kids that grew up in poverty and they become successful? They grew up in the projects and become successful. When is he going to stop using that as a crutch to lean on?
Right.
Because quiet is kept. Allegedly, in my opinion, Melody says she didn't have the greatest relationship with her father,
Right.
but she became successful.
Right.
She became, determined to be a success. Martell continues to hide behind this childhood. Martell is too old for that. He's over 40 years old. And he has three beautiful daughters and a handsome son.
Right.
What is he gonna accept that excuse when a man like him tries to get with his daughter? Is he going to accept that
No.
as an excuse? Oh, listen, I I treated her that way because I was raised in poverty and I grew up this way and grew up that way. Stop.
Right.
He needs to stop using that as a crutch to lean on and
Right.
grow up.
Exactly. Just grow up. Because he's not to me putting in, that's why I say it was court ordered for him to do that counseling.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
think he's doing anything but doing what the judge told him to do. Because if he was, we would see a different him. We sing
Mhm.
like Pretty Brown Eyes said, we're seeing storyline him.
Exactly.
Storyline him, let's go to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Storyline him, let's try to get a show. Let's go to, storyline him wants a woman to take care of him. He is
Right.
still the same person that he was when he was growing up. When he looks in the mirror, he sees, and I said this to Black Titanic and Pinky on this panel, about 3 weeks ago. I said he looks in the mirror, he still sees that same little boy that he was. No development, no growth, no nothing. And everything, Melody never exposed him. He exposed himself.
Exactly.
Didn't
Yep.
tell us
Nope.
anything. He told on himself. He told on himself when he had that first event and he couldn't get a sentence out of his mouth. And everyone was looking for him to say something intelligent.
Right, and he could not say
To
it.
be honest, if he is narcissistic, no counseling is gonna help Martel. Martel was in counseling, and he was still doing all kind of crazy stuff, obsessing over Melody, popping up at her house, and he was supposed to be in. He was court ordered to be in these therapy meetings, and he was still doing the same thing. Martel flies above people. That's what them narcissists do too. They fly above you. They think that they're not wrong about anything, and they've never done anything wrong. They
The
don't
court
see any wrong.
the courts sometimes are very lenient on men, and all they do is they release these little boys. Martel is stagnated back to some stage where he came into realization that he didn't have his father in his life, and his mother was not the optimal mom. I don't want to dog her out too much, but his mother, and the woman who raised Martel and the woman who raised Melanie are very different. And you forget, us women of color, we are the backbone of the world. I'm not going to just say this country. We are the backbone of the world. We have the gene that is in every single person in the world. But if you mix alcohol in with that, and spirits and promiscuity, and then if you put that into a cake, what you put in a cake, I don't care what it looks like. You could ice it, you could decorate it. If you shit in that cake, it still got shit in the cake. Excuse my mouth, miss. If you put
But
way too much salt in there, it's still salty.
do anybody remember from the Destin trip when they went over a little bit of Martell's
Hold
childhood?
on, hold on, Tawanda. I want to read this right quick. Gigi said the children are going to resent him when they get older. He has
Exactly.
done extremely too much, entirely too much. He can't take it back. And hold on, let me read this one too. This one said Martell. While we on Martell, I want to just get that what they
Right.
is.
Exactly.
Martell is used to people giving and doing for him.
Exactly.
Don't try to do the work. That's Barbara O. And Pretty Brown Eyes said,
Right.
wait a minute,
All
Pretty Brown Eyes said, yes indeed, real him is coleslaw and revenge Pete. Okay,
correct.
go on, y'all.
Exactly. Pretty brown
I
eyes.
want y'all to comment on those.
Okay.
I agree with pretty brown eyes.
Go ahead
I
on to
agree with
Wanda
Pretty Brown
Hill.
Eyes.
To Wanda Hill was talking.
Yes.
Okay, do anybody remember when they took the Destin trip and they touched a little bit on Martell's childhood and how he was bullied? And Merlin said, we'll stop all that whining.
Right.
That told me all I needed to know about what kind of mother she was.
Yes. And
And
do
I
you
used to try to go
you
easy on Merlin. I did because I was a single black parent
right.
to two sets of twins.
Right.
So
Wow.
I know how it is.
But
Wow.
Twan, did you remember what Melly said at that time to them? Remember, that's when she chimed in.
And she said it's not whining if you're telling your parent what
Correct.
you're going through.
Correct.
And Miss Van agreed with Melody.
Correct.
And that goes to show it's nature versus nurture.
Exactly. Good morning.
Marlene never nurtured this boy.
Never.
Inez did the best she could, but she was old. She was sick. And I remember Martell saying when Kimmy did her cancer announcement that Inez died of cancer.
Right. And
Mm-hmm.
don't you remember Melly telling him once when they were in the car where he said he wanted to be someone that she was proud of, and she flipped it and she told him, no, you need to be someone. Going back to the comment on the question, the comment the person made, you need to be someone that your children are proud of.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
Mhm.
can't understand that.
And I
Right.
kind of blame the father because he did not have to go to prison. He could have stayed
No,
out,
he did not.
been productive, and he could have taught Martel how to be a man and how to treat women or whatever the case is. The father, I blame him mainly for Marlene having to raise Martel by herself and become a single parent because that's not prison
Right.
is not somewhere you have to go. It's where
Right.
you choose to go. So
And
I
he
he
spent
agree.
over 20 years in prison.
he
Right.
should have been there for his son that needed guidance to learn how to be a man. Because some women, they can only do so much for their sons to teach them how to be a man. That's a man's place to teach this man how to be a man.
Right.
So he
I
didn't
agree.
have to go to prison. He could have stayed out there and been productive, and maybe Martel would have turned out differently. So I kind of
He
like put
might.
the blame on him as well.
He might.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
read this, y'all. If it pops up, I saw something our leader said about fathers. Let's see if it's gonna pop up. Can y'all see it? I
It went
wanted y'all
away.
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
read
It
that.
went
It was
away.
our leader said something about
There,
fathers.
There
there.
was a time when fathers were taken out of the house, and now many, many men are in prison. What will happen to the children? Social engineering, in effect. We still have to make it right. And that is so
Yeah.
true, Arletta.
Yep, I
Hmm.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, this goes
Yeah.
right back to the beginning of our existence here on this continent, where marriage used to be illegal for slaves, and so they had little ceremonies and stuff. But also, the men were used to produce more and more babies, and the reason was because if you have a woman having a baby every year, that slave is just getting more and more slaves. He's just making more and more
Right,
people that
manufacturing.
that slave could turn around and sell. They were products. They weren't people. They were future slaves. And so the black male was seen as a baby making machine,
Yeah.
not a husband, not a father. And then he was emasculated by being whooped. If he was strong, they would do what they call buck breaking. They would beat him. They would rape him in front of all the other slaves. They would if he was too resistant, they would cut the bottom of his feet. They would pull his clothes down and rape him, so all the other slaves would not do it. So we have to, as a now culture, African Americans, be different. Having a baby with a man who is not your husband is not the worst thing in the world, but you are having a baby, you are baking a cake without all the ingredients. If that man is not going to be in the house, you can you can have the flour, you can have the milk. If you don't have an oven, you don't have a cake.
Yeah.
If you don't have the eggs, you don't have a cake. It will not rise. And the problem is these men are not rising to the occasion because
And
the
then
ingredients.
Mhm.
go on. That was. I want to piggyback on what our leader said about the fathers being out of the house. Y'all know they always plotting on us, so they
Right.
can't. They purposely put that crack in our community, y'all. They
They did.
purposely did that. Now y'all gonna say, well, they didn't have to take it, but they did.
They did do it.
Then they came up with that crime bill for the least little thing. Now that's why I'm so hard on our people when it comes to Biden. Biden wrote that crime bill, you guys. He purposely wrote that crime bill, and that took a lot of our black men off the street, and still today, a lot of them are still in prison for the least little thing. They could be even just for a little what you call a little roach or anything, or jaywalking or anything. That crime bill covers all of that. Yes, and then
Right.
came up with the what's her name, the vice president. She got the same record.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, she got the same record in California. She was just locking up black men. But she got even worse than that. She found a way to lock up the black women too. So that's left the children by themselves to raise themselves.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And in Martel's case, a beautiful, strategic, intelligent woman took him by the hand and said, "I'm going to help you be successful."
Right.
Melody Cherie Rogers. So Martel don't have no excuse. He had a beautiful family. You know, she reached out to him and let him know, listen, I'm here for you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you build yourself over. You know, and what did he do? He then turned around and just gave him his butt to kiss.
Right.
Pretty
So
much.
he had that. He just
Miss
wanted.
Aries says either we will raise our children or they women either we will raise our children the way we were raised or the total opposite. It depends on whether we are aware of how we were raised that makes the difference. And I think some of y'all said that earlier when it comes to Tisha. Maybe her grandmother, won the mother. Where did one to get that from? You know, where she is.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought
that up. Yep.
Yep. We make that decision ourselves because people are born. I went to a banquet once and all of these people were like part of this area in Chicago on the west side. And they made a decision. They talked about, they are all successful, talked about how they made that decision to be different.
Right.
So it's something we decide. So that's why I go back to no sad tears, no sad story. He's not putting in the work. He's the same person we saw, no progression. And none of these people on this show have prepared themselves to be off the show. So what happens when the season ends? What are you going to do? What businesses are you going to have? Marceau was probably that bootleg person that half does projects that you don't want to invite to your house because your lock may be on lopsided and he wants to convince you that's okay, or your
Mhm.
windows. He has no contractor experience or knowledge, in my
He
opinion.
don't
He is
care.
that
And he don't
bootleg,
care. Nope.
that
Nope.
That's why he
bootleg.
was trying to get Gino.
Are you
Yes.
saying Marceau or Martel?
Marceau. He's that
Yes,
bootleg
100%.
person. It's not going to be the best work. He going to leave a mess. He going to just come through and just, I did the work, but you left it a mess though. You left
Yep.
all
Right.
you didn't have it
Incomplete.
cleaned up. And
Right.
what are they going to do after the show? Because the show is not going to last. So what are you going to do once the show is ended?
They're not going to be able to do much if they have a F rating with the Better Business Bureau. And the fact that they paid 100% of their employees, they only had two, Marceau and then that one guy. So they knew what they were doing. If you paid Marceau every week and you paid that other guy for 2 months, that's nothing to brag about.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay,
nothing to
Miss
brag about.
Brenda. Miss Brenda is reminding us to talk at one time. We got you, Brenda. Okay, Shelley, I think this is very important. She says fathers have been out for 100 years. My mother raised 7 well-educated, productive children. Women need to stand up, and excuses will keep us down. I
Yes.
guess
Mm-hmm.
Trump is better than Biden and Harris.
Mm-hmm. And
So
that's
what do y'all think? Look at how Arian raising her daughter. It just make me cringe when I be looking at her live and the stuff that she think is cute, talking about being a side chick around her daughter. Her
mm-hmm.
her daughter is internalizing that. Then she think it's so cute for this baby to be beating on her.
Yeah.
Right.
I just let my son do whatever he want to do. So what if y'all mad? So that goes to show y'all that this is how she raising her children.
Right.
And usually they repeat the behavior.
I
Right.
thank God
Yeah.
that Paris father stepped in and
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad
and
he got custody of her.
he
Right.
I apologize because my kindergarten teacher said I was talkative, and I've probably been holding all of my statements back for the whole year since I've been watching you guys. So I know I'm talkative. But Shelly, I have to disagree. Trump is not better than Biden. Trump in New York, where I'm from, was the reason for the Equal Housing Act back in that time, because he would have the people go to, when blacks came to rent from him, and he had a lot of buildings. His father had a lot of buildings in New Jersey, in East Orange, and a lot in New York. And when people would come in there, the person was supposed to put the letter B on top of the application, so he wouldn't rent to black people. The person could have the same exact job, the same exact credit rating, but they could not get into decent housing. And they were found guilty of that. Racial discrimination, the housing racial discrimination. So if you're saying that, and wait a minute, number two, the impact of Trump being in office led to all this people coming out of the woods with white supremacy. You could not pull up the news, go into certain places without seeing young black men who were about to become something being hung. They just started a business and they're being hung. They were activists, they were being hung. And then it was being said that they hung themselves. No, they did the same thing.
Listen, Miss E, we're gonna get off the politics, okay? But
well,
I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say that Trump did do housing discrimination because he owned that building.
Big time.
But Biden, if you look at what's really going on, Biden got a pen and a pencil that he writes policies against the African American community. He writes and laws into place for African American. This has been going on ever since I've been knowing that. What if you write laws against us for many decades after decades after decades? That can compare with just somebody discriminating against you because they don't want you to live in their home. I just want you to think.
He wrote the Affordable Care Act with don't forget, with Obama. He helped Obama get the Affordable Care Act pushed through.
I don't want to argue over the thing. I know what he did, but he's still that crime bill right there. You can't undo that, babe. You need to really listen to what he's saying. You don't know he's not better.
I was a young teen in that time where I could not get on a school bus. Leave the city of Newark at work without being robbed. I couldn't wait at the bus stop without acting like I had a gun in my hand because I was being approached. And by no means, I got 3 black brothers. So I am by no means a racist. But during that period of crack time, people were robbing anybody because they needed crack. And they would rob their mother, kill their father.
We know that. So I want to get back to love and marriage huntsville because that done took us to a whole new area that right now I don't want to be.
The people come here to escape from all of that and to hear and to have a great time and listen to Black Titanic give us this great commentary.
Yeah, I don't want to get off into that politics right now. So what we will do, we will schedule us something for that, okay, y'all? But not today. We done got off the subject. I will do that. I'll come back so we can have a debate on politics. That's well needed because we do need to understand certain things we need to understand. Okay. Okay.
So where do y'all think? Where do y'all think sauerkraut is hiding?
I believe she's hiding in Atlanta because this young lady is trying to get seen anywhere she can. I.e., that's why she was at Little Scrappy's divorce party, taking pictures with Young Jock. She's trying to get seen because she's in her mind. Lord help me. I'm going into the mind of super slow. So help me, Jesus. Help me, Father. in her mind, she's still competing with Melody, but when she's really competing with the memory of Melody.
Right.
And
Well,
she's like, well, if I could get on this show, this is a bigger hit show than Love and Marriage Huntsville. I get on this show, he ain't got no choice but to want to marry me.
Well, I mean, I expected her. I expected her to take a picture with Jock. Jock, the one who got 6 baby mamas, and possibly
But he
10
got a
kids.
wife that ain't afraid to pull up though. Kendra ain't no joke.
No, his wife would beat her down. She don't want to mess with.
Yeah,
She don't want to
Sonny,
mess with her.
Kendra don't play.
Kendra not nobody to play with, but
And
it's just,
she's a lawyer. She'll get herself off.
but
Right.
just, I mean, just for her to take pictures with somebody, in my opinion, who's a washed up rapper and who to me is trash, and also disrespects women, and who also disrespects women and got 6 baby mamas and 20 kids.
Oh
And
yeah.
Jock only married date women that got something. He's like Martel. If you don't have nothing, he ain't gonna fool with you. He may
So
sleep with you, but he ain't gonna fool with you.
It doesn't surprise me that she would gravitate to Jock of all people, because of who he is. So
Well, he did a Martel on him.
They said she was trying to get Scrappy attention, but Scrappy
no.
kept walking by her like, who is this bum?
Scrappy don't want her. Oh no.
Right,
no.
looking like a diaper, because it was looking like she had a diaper. BB gone
I
bad.
mean, if I'm going to a celebrity party, I'm not gonna wear nothing that I done put on my fake boutique about 3 years ago. I wouldn't wear
Girl,
that. I would have
that
found me
outfit.
some fresh new stuff and be cute.
Right. She done wore the outfit about 10 times.
Yeah, that zebra outfit was a mess.
Now, what
I know it looked like a broke down stripper unitoy.
I forgot his name. What's his name she was posing with?
Jock.
Young Jock.
Young Jock.
Yeah, Josh.
That's the man that got that song, It's Going Down.
Josio. Right.
Yeah. And
But do y'all think she's
Young Jock is a
scared?
married man, and she's all up on him with her.
And her little fake booty
Yeah.
Yeah, fake booty and gator mouth.
But that butt was hanging down though. I was like, I was like,
Shirley
what's going
Ann,
on?
you are
They
pretty.
say when you get them injections, you're supposed to go back every 6 months. I thank God I never had to do that. My booty came from my mama.
Right. Okay.
And my daddy's side.
Well, I just don't have none, so.
Right.
And just a cornbread.
Right.
Oh,
Do y'all feel like that's what she trying to do? Kind of copy off of Martel, was she trying to get into the hip hop scenery, that TV show? So you remember, she don't care nothing about just being married. They say that she I heard a content creator say that she been tagging him. Josh. Yeah.
Who?
Aaron.
She done found a new mark. She found a new mark.
She been attacking Young Jock. She don't know.
Yeah, she found a new mark.
Yeah, she don't want no smoke from Kendra
would light her would drag her.
She found a new mark, y'all. I'm telling y'all, because I remember her mother in the comment section on like Facebook groups I was in, that I'm in, as well as on the YouTube streets, taking up for her daughter. This is what their family does. They go after well-off married men and try to suck the life out of that marriage. So she got part of what she wanted, but she mad because the money and the status that Mel still has didn't come with it.
Ariana is not getting on no Love and Hip Hop.
No,
But
she's
even with
I
Love and
want
Hip
her up
Hop,
there. I want her up there, and I'm gonna tell y'all why.
even with Love and Hip
She would
Hop,
get a
Rashida
on Love and Love and Hip Hop. They don't play. Them women don't play.
No,
That's why I want her up there. Erica Miller.
Because
And
Love and Hip Hop, you got Rashida got her own business. You got a lot of people on that show that got their own businesses.
zero.
Successful businesses, not what she's doing. Nobody's going to accept her on Love and Hip Hop. She don't have nothing going on. She don't have a successful business. Rashida got 2 or 3 businesses. A few of them got businesses.
Well, Carly Red need a friend. She could be Carly Red friend.
Carly Red jumped on
Carly wouldn't want to be bothered with her.
But she can get, but she can get on Love and Lockup.
Yeah.
Love and Lockup, they have a slot.
Oh yes, I forgot about them.
Yeah, love and
Yeah.
lockup. Because where she
I'm gonna
going,
read this, y'all. Lamita Locke says Arian lost the game to Mel. So she is trying to figure out how she's going to get out of us laughing extra hard.
Yes.
The butt picture was to make Martell jealous.
She
Yeah,
failed
that's what I
miserably
was
at that.
thinking
She
too.
Well, you
fell
know about him a
miserably.
cowgirl. He ain't thinking
Oh
about him.
my God.
and
That
it ain't
hey,
like
he got his
Wait,
lick
one
back
at a
that
time,
daggone
y'all.
pastor.
Hold it. Now, one at a time. Who was talking? Tawana, go on. And then after
Um,
Tawana, y'all wait till one person get finished.
I said Martell got the major lick back with that pastor picture with the young lady. And he knew Messy Uncle Wanda was on live. And that's why he was joking to him, get off that live. Like, go ahead and pan in further. He was
Mm,
getting his lick back on the bird.
mm-hmm.
So he know males do not care.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That
that's
makes
what
sense.
that was. Oh, okay,
That makes a
great.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been
actually,
studying their love language or whatever they call that. I mean, I call it ball of confusion,
that
but
makes
hey.
a lot of sense.
I like that.
I mean, well, it ain't like she took a
Well,
picture with Morris.
the young lady also, I don't know why she put that message up there that she make her own money. She don't have to be nice to no man just to eat. I felt like she was talking to Aaron.
Yeah,
Hmm.
she
Right.
was.
Ooh,
She
child.
was. But she
Child.
don't
She
realize
was. I
that.
think this young lady is a friend of Martell's.
He was
And this
definitely
Mm.
was a
familiar with her.
good okie doke.
Hmm. Yeah, he was definitely familiar with her. That was not a the hand gesture, mid back, all of that was not a gesture of I just met you tonight.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
Cheryl,
always good to see you
Yes,
again.
yes.
I just want to hear from you. I haven't heard you
Well,
say anything.
it ain't like Ariana is taking pictures with Morris Chestnut or Idris Elba or Denzel Washington. Come on, it's young Jock.
I know.
Please, it's not like he's.
Right.
I mean, she's not gonna get no clout off of that because everybody in Atlanta know who Young Jock is, and every woman in Atlanta know who Young Jock is.
Right.
So
Yes.
I mean, it's like she act like she taking pictures
Right.
like she with
And
Ariana trying to get
with
in where she
Morris
fit in.
Chestnut or somebody. Ariana need to go sit down. So what she need to do is go get a job. Get a job. If you want to be like Melody, Ariana, go do what Melody did and go get a job.
She can get
And
a
make
job and
your
some
own money.
insurance and get those things off her teeth.
Get a job.
Yes,
Get your own
Lord.
money. Be independent and stop the it's you because your only position right now is on your back. So you gotta get other positions. You gotta learn other positions like a job position.
She
Go
can
get
go to the escort service.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now
listen. Get up and
ADR,
get
I
a
told you
job. Period. Get up and
it,
get a job and stop laying on your back when Martell keep her. Just go and get a job. Stop trying to be like Melody. She'll never be Melody ever. Not
yes.
this life, the next life, and the life after next. She will never be Melody because Melody got
Okay,
it
let
all
me
together.
read this by ADR. I've been wanting to read this, but I just found it.
Yeah, that's the
Lies,
one.
lies. How many remake images update?
Hmm.
Talking about Martell, they keep trying to,
Change his
rebrand.
image.
Yeah.
How
Right.
many images update is this jiggle gonna keep having?
Right.
Upscale. Y'all remember Upscale magazine?
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
y'all
I
remember
remember
him?
those.
And then, wait a minute, y'all. Then he said the dog walking with you, got to show that. The
Right.
jiggle from the interview, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Two interviews, the panel, and then the new clothes,
Right.
new party line, the clothes, charade. Yee, she said, charades. They try to rebrand him over and over and over.
Yeah,
It's not gonna
men's
work.
underwear,
It's
panty
not gonna
line.
work.
Oh yeah,
And
that
it's
underwear, yeah.
yeah.
It's not gonna work.
I'm with ADR panty line. And he's still the same person, that same little boy, no progression, still looking in the mirror, like ADR said. And it's gone from image after image after image. Carlos taking him from interview to interview doing the dog and pony show.
And this is all
Well,
to get
one
Melody.
thing Pretty Brown Eyes said earlier, she said that wherever he go, he got to take himself with him. So regardless of whatever clothes he put on or whatever.
It don't
But
mean nothing.
y'all know what tickled me this morning?
What?
It popped up that little short when Melody was called. He said, "Yo, that's why you wearing them ugly shoes."
Yes.
The little ugly shiny shoes. Yep.
I love
Yep.
that. At the reunion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she said, "I don't need
Mhm.
nothing. I don't need nothing from your
Everything comes
ass,
back to
your
your
dusty
dusty.
ass with them ugly shoes on." That was
And
Yep.
they
so
were
cute.
ugly
Yeah, when
too.
she said God is her source, she ain't need nothing or
Yes.
nobody,
You know
except for
what
your
else?
dusty ass with your little ugly shoes.
You
Yes.
know what else happened on that video? On that reunion when he said, when Carlos King asked her, he said, "Well, what about the fellatio?"
Yeah.
Right? And she said, "I don't remember that." And Martel said, "Melanie, I got the video."
Yep.
Yep.
In the video he was talking about, in America, listen to him say that. We thought he was saying he had video recorded her saying
Yeah, he
it,
got the recording. Mm-hmm.
but
Mhm.
nope, he was talking about the video of the two of them together.
Yeah.
So what he was
Mm-hmm.
gonna do was turn around and release that video, and that was him laying the groundwork for that revenge P. Because nobody knew what he was talking about when he said, "I got
Oh,
the
they all
record."
knew what he was talking about
Yeah,
because
because they
everybody
saw
They
it.
They
else
all
saw
did,
it.
seen it.
but we didn't. And the people who go against Mel really believe that Mel did that. They think
Well,
she cheated
Mm-hmm.
on him, and that's the storyline he's telling. Just like my ex was like, "Yeah, she talked about my dead father." So people really believe his bull that
well,
Mel was cheating on him and told him that she was giving some guy the stuff above the shoulders.
All right.
I
And
think Martell better turn on the TV and watch what's going on with
Well,
NBC
NBC Bravo.
slash Bravo,
Yes.
because he's next. He's next. That's
And
all
Well,
I
it's
I
gotta
got
say.
one for y'all. Remember when Kimmy tried to have like Kiowa cheated on Maurice? See
right.
how they piggyback off of each
Yep,
other?
they
Because
do the
Kimmy put
same
that
thing.
out first.
And then Kimmy must have forgotten that she sat down with Kiowa at the table and said, "Me and Maurice never dated until y'all were divorced."
Right, she did
He
say
lying.
that.
And that was supposed to be 7 years. And I'm counting that she said that they were together 7 years. And I count pretty well. And seven is seven. It doesn't change. And then she got on and told Mel, "Oh, well, they weren't divorced."
It was
She
separated.
said no, they won't divorce. They just signed the papers.
Right.
And I was
Right, but
like, well,
which
technically they won't
means right,
divorce.
which means, and I don't believe sign the paper because that's just you know, a, yeah, okay, sign the papers. They were not divorced. The answer is no.
So it means you was dating a married man. That's what.
Correct.
Exactly.
Right.
she wasn't just dating him; she was rescuing him
They were
because
living together.
he was,
Yeah.
yeah, he
She
moved
was
because he was
taking
sleeping
care of
on
him.
somebody else's sofa, and
Right.
she gave him a roof over his head. She was doing the same thing Mel did. As women, we try to bake a man and make a man, and we
No.
try to rescue them and make them bigger and better. And then often they do exactly what Maurice did and Martell
No,
did. They turn
no.
around
Kimmy is a pick
and
me. No, Kimmy's a pick me. Kimmy's a pick me.
She
She didn't do
is.
it. She didn't
She
do
a
at all.
major pick me.
She didn't do at all what Melody did.
She
Melody left
major. Yeah,
Martell.
Melly was.
She
Yeah,
left
that's totally
Martell
different.
she
and
let
never
him
went back.
study. She let him study for that bar exam
No.
Right.
without paying, not keeping a roof over his head. She let him bring his son into her home with not having a roof over his own head. She took care of his son while he was finishing up studying. She
Right.
she all he did was hire her to do what what a wife does or
Okay,
a
let me
family
read
does.
this, y'all. March Baby says, she says she's agreed to Shelley, but she said Black women need to get out of this mindset of taking care of Black men.
Right. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
Yeah,
agree.
I can.
I
Exactly.
agree.
I
I
agree.
cannot even
I
imagine.
agree. I
So
agree.
I'm getting ready to close it up, y'all. I gotta get ready. I ain't even bought no gift. I gotta go find my daughter a gift. But I'm gonna read these two to y'all, and then y'all can say y'all final thoughts. Miss Flora Hook said the big machine took away sports. away spanking, yes,
Mm-hmm.
because they understood the black community was and is about discipline and work ethics. This is a design and orchestrated ethnic to divide and conquer the black community. Hold on,
So
y'all.
true.
Okay, I just want to say my condolence, Pretty Brown Eyes. I am driving to a funeral, or else I would have come up with you guys. My condolence to whoever funeral you going to,
Yeah, my
Pretty Brown.
condolences, pretty brown
Yes, pretty
eyes.
brown
Be
eyes.
safe.
Condolences. Be safe,
Okay,
yes.
okay, you guys. Somebody asked for my cash app. It's just dollar sign capital B, dollar sign black Titanic with a capital B. Somebody I don't know. Somebody asked for it. Okay, you guys. Y'all can say y'all final. Let me start with Pinky, Elaine, Cheryl, Tawanda, and then Trendy. Okay, Pinky.
All right, thank you. I'm just was happy to be here and everything, and to have everybody up on the panel with us and stuff. And Black Titanic, I know you got a busy day after this, and you just make sure you, like I told you earlier, yesterday, drink plenty of water because you're going to be busy. And thank you all and all everybody in the chat. I just love being here, guys.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, again, I apologize for being so talkative. It is who I am. But I do want to say this, and this is something that my father instilled in me. And again, it was women, stop loving your sons and raising your daughters. And it comes from Kawanja Kunjufu, who wrote the book, Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. All the way to the point where you can't have a man over 18 in your house if you accepting benefits from the government back in the 70s and the 80s. Um, one kid does one thing. Sorry, guys, I have 3 dogs. One kid does one thing and they take him home. A black kid does it, they take him to detention.
Mm-hmm.
You right about that. Yes.
We as but women, we do need our men, but because they weren't raised to be men, because the woman before us said, I don't need a man to raise my kids. If we could if we could raise our boys to be better husbands and better fathers and better men, we could stop this cycle of destruction of the black family. And I'm done.
Okay, Cheryl.
In the words of Melody Cherie Rogers, no weapons formed against her shall prosper. And at the end of the day, you have to love yourself more than you love a man. Know your worth. That's all I
Yes.
you have to know your worth and never
Mhm.
let a man treat you less than you would treat yourself. You treat yourself like a queen. If he can't treat you like a queen, you don't need him. If you want the respect from a man that you deserve, don't put up with nonsense. That's all I gotta say. Thank you for letting me come up, Black Titanic.
You're welcome.
And bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Y'all have a nice
Pearl,
day. Bye.
Pearl to Pearl.
Tawana, you next. Tawana.
Um,
Tawana.
th- yeah. Thank you very much for having me up here. This is actually helping me with my nervousness and shyness when I do decide to content create. Um, and my parting wisdom for the day: live every day like it should last, cause you never know when it really is. And in the words of Melody Cherie, even though you don't feel up to it, just push through.
Thank you for the cash app, Shirley Nims. Thank you, babe. Go on. Okay, Tawana, you and I are on the same Facebook and in the same
Yes,
Facebook
ma'am.
group. Well, over there, somebody disrespected me in that group, and the administrator zapped her out for 30 days. So I was happy that she took that stand. I didn't know why that girl was dogging me out over there, but the administrator over there
Oh
banned
yeah, they is real good about that. They is real
Huh?
good about it. I said they is real good about that.
Yeah, she just, I don't even know who she was, but she just started this saying some disrespectful things about me. You
Oh,
know,
we get a lot of mellow. I call them mellow trolls. We get a lot of people that don't like melody, and they do that a lot.
Remember, Auntie, I still got one more can left in me if somebody disrespect you.
but do y'all know over there they don't know my government name, so I'll be right there and they don't know my government name, so they be talking about me. I be sitting right up there. I be
Mm-mm.
right
And
up
the
there
thing
while they be
about it, I
talking
know
about.
her government because we follow each other on Facebook.
Yeah, I
Let me
know
not
you
say
know
that myself.
Tawanda, but most of them on there they don't know. I know you
I
know.
know, and when they be doing that, I'm be sitting up there like, y'all is so slow.
Yeah, I be right sitting right there while they talking about me. Okay, trending, you're the final one.
You calling me trending? I take
I'm
trending. I
sorry,
love
trending.
trending.
Oh boy, I'm trending on
Trending
my
and
mind.
I
Hey, trending.
trending and I we
Succeeding.
love
I'm
each other.
sorry, trending
So
on my
I'm a
mind.
trendy though. So I'm a trend I'm a trendy trendsetter. So you
And
can
I
call me
forgot to
trend.
say, hold on, I forgot to say, welcome, lies. Live lies and more lies and
Yeah, live.
live,
Yep.
laugh, and love. All y'all content creator. Thanks for being here.
That's
Okay,
my
go ahead. I'm
Florida
succeeding.
sister. So my mom
Succeed.
taught me that a man would only do what you let him do.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
And we have to invest in ourselves. Since I'm kind of traditional, so I'm not one that's going to be going out buying men stuff, except on special occasions. I'm just going to be real with you all. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not.
Exactly.
He gave me the check. I deposited it in the banking. He had a great job. He started at Pepsi when he was 18 and got in management pretty young. So I'm not one that's going to be doing all of this extra stuff. And I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was fortunate to be a stay-at-home mom that managed our finances. And no more meeting men without knowing how they manage their finances,
Wow.
without
Amen.
knowing how they are with respect to family. My mom said I would know how a man would treat me also based on the way that he talks to his mother. So
Mm-hmm.
even just watching that interaction is telling.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And then, as I was telling the trendsetters last night on trending, we have to invest in ourselves. We have to treat ourselves good. If we're not don't come if we come ye of one of little expectation, how could we expect someone to treat us well? We have to
Yeah.
act like my birthstone diamonds. We have to think of ourselves as diamonds. And then our light will shine because people will see us based on what we're showing. We can't give discounts.
Yeah. Y'all know that this off the subject about Nene, right?
Yeah.
Nene knew her worth over
Yes,
there. And Monique too. Monique, the one that used to play on Precious.
right.
She knew her
Yes.
worth too. Cause people was dogging Monique out because Monique was upset with Netflix.
Correct.
But she
Yeah.
sued Netflix because Netflix discriminated against her. This woman has been around a long time and also had won an Oscar. They wanted to give her that little bitty piece of money as opposed to those unknown Europeans that she was starring with. They were getting them millions of dollars and were giving her. But she knew her worth, and people were saying, well, that's because they younger than you. Then nobody
Right.
even know who they were. Is she a household name now?
Correct.
But they were
Yeah, because
talking.
she won an Oscar.
Yeah, and she eventually, I think it's last year, that they settled with that woman, and that
Right. They
woman got
settle for,
a lot of money. Yes, know
but the
your
community,
worth.
yeah, know our worth. And that is still on, it is on what we're talking about. Because if
Yeah.
we know our worth, we don't stand for just anything. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
think about it. And we have to stop doing this as a culture, saying,
Mm-hmm.
oh, Nene needed to stay in her place.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that
I
in your
hate to
place
hear people
start with?
say that.
In your place. Stay in your place. Just don't say anything. Just like the people I can't stand it. I work with, and you're in a meeting, and no one says absolutely anything. Nothing. You have nothing to say, nothing to add when you know it's an issue going on. So we can't get together as a group and collectively agree that there's an issue because we have to stay in our place. That's that slave mentality that
Yeah.
we were taught. Stay in our place. And Nina,
Mhm.
when she did say something, people took it as, oh, well, you were fine before. Yeah, just like you are getting your job that you're being paid for, where you know that you're seeing racism every day. You're fine too, right? But she said something when she was able to say something, but that doesn't mean that it didn't exist. Now you're seeing people say, oh, Nene was telling the truth. I
Yeah,
never
because
doubted her.
you know why they saying that? Because the white woman came out and
Yeah,
said.
why does Bethany,
Now
and I
they
wrote
say she
that.
must have been telling the truth because a white woman
Yeah,
opened her mouth.
I wrote that on Mims. Why is it that Bethany had to say something from Nene now to suddenly be, oh, Nene is telling the truth? But they
Yeah.
wanted Nene to stay in her place. Oh, Nene's too this, she's too that. Oh, she was too arrogant. From what I was told, in order to be a reality star, you have to be arrogant. You have to have a big personality. You have to be extra because otherwise, you're what you're seeing on Real Housewives of Atlanta. All of them boring, like watching paint dry.
Yeah. So that's a great way to end it, everybody. Know your worth. Know your worth. It ain't even always got to be about money. Just who you are as a person.
Who we
Even
are
with
now.
these men's, when I started realizing my worth with these oh no good men's, y'all, I stopped attracting them kind of men's. You won't even be attracting those kind of men's. They'll be scared to even approach you.
Oh, Black Titanic, you better say that to the people in the back because you are
Mhm.
so right. I had a
Mhm.
person, I didn't attract a certain type. And a friend of mine said, well, somehow you only attract this. I said, well, you know, I'm not asking them about their finances, but she was saying, and she recognized that it was something that I was putting out. That's
Mhm.
exactly what you're saying. And I remember a guy tried to talk to me once and I'd never had this happen. I was in the Krispy Kreme. I said, oh Lord, I must be losing it. I had to go get a facial, y'all.
Mhm. Okay, you guys, thanks. I can't do my shout out. I gotta get ready, y'all. It's
Okay.
12:34.
You
I
have a
gotta be
great
there at
time.
2.
Where's the shower? The
Well,
reveal.
she lives over there by the airport, downtown, right on top of the
Oh
airport.
yeah, because you're at home. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm at home. It's great to be home too, y'all. Great
I
to
know
be
your
home.
house probably spoke to you and everything, didn't it? Your
What
house
you
even missed
say?
you.
What you say?
They say your house probably even misses you. Your house probably even
Oh
spoke
yeah,
to you.
especially my yard. Y'all know I love being out there in the yard. It just therapeutic to me. So I did go out there in the yard and dig and whatever. And then I cut the front yard and my neighbor, they got used to me now. But you know, they went on the clear person though, across the street to me, you got them grown grandsons while you cutting grass. I do it when I get ready. I do it
Right.
because I like to do it, and it keeps me strong, keeps me it
Right.
strengthens me, you
Yeah.
know. So when I be cutting that grass, and I got two lawnmowers, got a ride lawnmower and a push. I push that
My
lawnmower.
mother liked the push one. Yeah,
Yeah, it
you
strengthened me. I had two knee surgery
mhm,
and two back surgery. That's how I be strengthened, y'all.
right. She said it was
Extra,
a
yeah,
workout.
good
That's how
work.
she got her workout.
Yeah. Okay, you guys back. And I might do the thing live if my daughter let me to. I might do the ceremony live
And
if
see
she
if
let me.
she'll let
Can
you
I get
post a couple of
permission, huh?
yeah, see if she'll let you post a couple of pictures even.
Okay, yeah, I will.
Maybe she'll let you post somewhere the faces are blurred, blurred
and,
out.
and I just got a group chat that we supposed to wear all white. I didn't know that, child. I gotta go find some.
You got
I know
something.
how that is.
You better put that outfit on that picture you got in behind your wall.
I ain't kidding.
Oh, you see that? Yeah, my daughter.
I
Yeah,
love art. I have a lot of black art, and
yeah.
so I love
Yeah,
art. So,
you go one right here. I don't know if y'all can see that one
oh,
too.
I like that
Oh,
one
I love
too.
that.
The
Yeah.
one that I tell you, my favorite one is this one. Is about this the artist that did this. picture right here. He said it's named it Destiny. I don't know if y'all can see this one.
Oh,
Can
yes,
y'all?
we can.
I
Oh,
like
that's
it.
beautiful.
Was she looking in the mirror at herself? But it's about her destiny. That's what she thinking
Yeah,
about.
I
Yeah.
like
I like it. I love that one.
Okay, you guys, and I'll wait. I got this from the Goodwill, y'all. I go shopping from the Goodwill. Look at this. I don't know if y'all can see this one. These are just Africans. Can y'all
Oh,
see
those
that?
are pretty.
Oh,
Yes,
I
we can
seen
see
it.
it.
The
Yes,
Africans carrying their baby on their back.
their backs. Yes,
Yeah,
we
I
can
got
see
these.
it.
I got this from. I like to go Goodwill shopping, and I look for art in the at the Romo sales. Cause they y'all don't know. Y'all get some good expensive art, black art from them Goodwill.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
take good stuff to them too. So I know you could find some good stuff. I take
Yeah,
stuff when you could still use it, when it's still good. I don't like
Mhm.
taking stuff when it's not good and usable.
yeah. I don't buy clothes. I just buy artwork from. I just
Mhm.
love shopping. That's my pastime when I get bored. All
Mhm.
right, bye y'all. Thanks
Okay.
everybody.
You have a
Bye.
blessed
Bye.
time,
We can do this
okay?
Thank you,
again
guys.
sometime. All right.
And have a
Okay,
good
bye.
day.
Okay, Pinky, I'll see you in these streets.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
be
still
back at
follow. I
5
love your
o'clock today.
content, by the way, Pinky.
I got a live at 5 Central,
Okay, I'm gonna try to be
Okay,
up there.
at 5. Okay, I'll see you then.
All right.
Central Standard Time.